apron. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Evelyn. I'm here to introduce you to a new level of entertainment. The stars have aligned, connecting Brooklyn, New York, Sacramento, California, and Atlanta, Georgia. The team. Introducing Flatbush, Brooklyn's finest, the boss, Chef Chupino. Hailing from Sacramento, California, is Andrea Lynch. From the dirty South Atlanta, Georgia, is your boy, Victor Freeze Music, or just Vic.
phone jump, it's the weekend. Dream come true with the freak friends. Hitting on doors, that's the defense. Rolling with all, that's the offense. Hit me, change you, let me peach in. With a bull shaking to my maybe drop ins. So they won't buy, and I say, so they won't buy you the kid play, baby, tell me what you want. Julian, well, I know you need fun. Ever since remember we been knocking at the door. Y'all be moving paper, we be running up the school. Y'all before that pillar, we was sleeping on the floor. West side Africa, you know the shit ain't cool. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Profit, baby. Come roll with me. All night long. As times relax, my mind's relax. I got now from who got next. Here's my number, just send a text. You got a man and she responds, nah. Okay, show enough. I'ma let you go, don't wanna hold you up. I'ma call your phone when I put it up. Whoever let you go must be them as far. Wait far. Girl, you so fine, I'll pay for. Fly you first class to the lake bar. Body so blessed, I pray for. Body so blessed, I pray for. Because I don't care what you say. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long. Why did I kill it? Night long. This the part where you get your girl, nigga. Make sure she focused, nigga. Make sure you focus, nigga. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, hit it. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say. That's a hit for your ass, nigga. Hit for your ass, nigga. Prophet the One. Follow me on all Instagram sites, PROPHETTHEONE. That's Prophet the One in case you couldn't spell. But if you could, you already got it. Like Prophet like God, and then duh like duh, nigga. And then one like nigga, I'm the motherfucking one, nigga. You can't miss it. Follow me now.
What the camera was? Let me talk.
Yo, man. Is it first file on the
Yo, what up? What up? Please put a one in the chat if you could hear your boy. Having a little bit of technical difficulty setting this up today. I apologize for the delay. Let me get a one in the chat if you can hear me. Cool. All right, just testing a couple of things out. Please bear with your boy for a minute. You know, we tend to fly this thing or build this thing as we're flying it. Let me get my camera situated because I do not want to use laptop camera for y'all today. I would like to use the real joint. There we go. Lights, camera, action. A little more clarity. Canon MK50 Mark II. Sending that invoice to E Black, aka E Blizzy, E Black TV. Made me buy this shit. Damn, I look crispy. Not to be conflated or confused with crunchy. Damn, I'm trying to be smooth over here, and these things ain't trying to let me be great. Here we go. No watch. No watch. No watch. No watch. No pinky ring. Put a one in the chat. Put a one in the chat if you want me to wear the Citizen Navahawk AT. Ooh, this thing looks better on this camera. Or if you want me to wear the Invicta Reserve Snake Edition. That's how we deal with them snakes. One in the chat. One in the chat for the Citizen, two in the chat for the Gold Invicta. We're going to make this thing an interactive kind of movement tonight. What we got? I need some participation or we ain't going forward, damn it. How about that? And pardon me if you see me looking down. I'm still used to using a laptop camera. What we got? Gabrielle said one. I see you in ya. All right. Miss Deb said one. Okay. One. Oh, Gabrielle said gold. He's going with this. With this one, the Invicta. It's gold. Mika Marcel said the Citizen. I don't have all my ISO settings, so there's supposed to be some autofocus stuff pop off. All right. Well, you know what? I see one. So we're going to go with this one. We're going to go with this one. Navahawk AT, by the way, Citizen Navahawk AT. This is one of those watches where if I travel to a different part of the world and to a different time zone, it keeps me aware of the time zone that I'm in. Switches. It's a pretty interesting watch. Solar powered, so it's a forever watch. You give it to your kids, blah, blah, blah. But we'll do that on the watch show when my brother needs watches comes up. All right. Something weird here. Why is it showing two shafts? We're going to remove. Cool. So now we got all of that out of the way. What's going on, my people? It's good to see y'all tonight. It's good to be a part of these YouTube streets. It's good to be around people that want to hear the silly ideas that myself and my cohorts care to share with you. So what we're going to do, is bring up one of them. My guy, Victor Freeze Music. Big dog.
Nah. Why you ain't bring your girl up? Your favorite girl up?
Yeah. So hold on. So what I am actually going to do is I'm gonna have to do a little quick setup reset. So you're gonna be driving by yourself for about a good 30 to 45 seconds. All right. So
I don't got my permit yet.
Make it good. Put them dancing shoes on. You know how you like it. Peace. I'll be right back.
Yo, what's going on? Peace to the whole chat. Peace to the garden. Who we got in here? Gabrielle, I see you, brother. To be love. What's up, sis? Quantum love. Metaphysician. I'm gonna need to see that plaque. Let's see. Miss Deb, what you doing in here so early, huh? Peace to Mika Marcel. You qualify as A1 Day 1. What's up, Jasmine? I don't know you like that, but we will get to know you. Shout out to the fishing man. Okay? Just you. I'm not looking at your lady, I promise. Let's see. Inya. Who else we got in here? All right. So that's who's in the comments. Okay, I know it's more faces, but that's who's in the comments. Yo, peace to everybody in here for coming hanging out with us. You know how we do. We get down, all right, every Tuesdays, every Thursday, and every Saturday. All right. So just in case you was wondering what that schedule was, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. All right. We're gonna keep y'all posted on what the scores of the game is. Don't be flipping back and forth unless you got to. I understand. But with that said, got hot topics like we normally do. And
Nigga, you don't got no hot topics. He lying to y'all, man. We
hey,
talking
hey,
bullshit.
hey, Chef don't want me to be great, yo. Chef don't want me to be great. I got the hotness. All right.
Go ahead. Let him know. Let him know what it is. Talk to them about that hotness, big dog.
Nah, you got it. You got it. Go ahead, cook it up.
Yo, man. I only look like I got red on the right side of my face, man. I done did some foolishness, man. Fuck my whole shit up. Pardon me, y'all. Damn, man. I think I stepped on the cord of one of my lights. We gonna
You whoop
fix it
your
up.
own ass.
Say it again.
I said you whoop your own ass.
Yeah, man. I kicked myself in the bad leg. But while I'm fixing that, y'all make believe y'all come here for me. Y'all make believe y'all come here for Vic. Y'all don't come here for none of us, motherfuckers. We know who you come here for. Y'all come here for the first lady. You know what I mean? I can't say anything because technically I'm kind of like a boss because my name is on this thing. You know what I mean? But Vic talked about why people starting to come there now because of them special shirts the first lady of the show wears. But I didn't say it. Vic said it. So you can't put no EEOC, no EEO charges on
Wow.
me. All right. That's some,
Nigga,
you know what I
human
mean?
shield. Human
Right.
shield.
And shit, ain't got nothing to do with me, but the person y'all all came to watch, aka, I got some questions, aka, that's some bullshit, aka, put your Kevlar vest on, Andrea Lynch. What it do?
You know y'all on that bullshit tonight, okay?
She's
See,
shooting
it
major
wasn't me, it
look.
was Vic. All right, so FLSA, EEO, all of y'all, holla at Victor Freeze Music, please and thank you. And let me fix this light real quick. Go ahead, Andrea. Take over the show like you normally do. Go ahead, yo.
Don't be taking over no show. Okay, what's up, you guys? How y'all doing tonight? It is the play. You know what? Why is we keep going on when the game is on? The finals is though. I don't know if I'm gonna ever see a game again in life. Okay. They play game. I don't miss all these games. I gotta catch the highlights. Y'all know Chef a little slow. He be making sure I miss the game. I watch the
Don't
highlights.
don't worry. You don't want to see your boys get beat up in their own house.
You wish we in Cali. We know we got Steph Curry, Clay, Draymond Green, Clay Thompson. We good. We in Cali. They had to fly from Boston like 6 hours away. Come on now, we good. We've been resting, waiting for them.
You,
Don't
you
be a
got your security is all light skinned dudes.
That's my cup of tea anyway.
Right. 12 niggas look like Shamar Moore.
Hold on a minute.
Niggas lip gloss popping and everything. Anyway, pause.
Yes,
Hold
I
on,
do.
you gotta watch out. You said
I,
that shit and all of a sudden Yella popped up.
I do love
Hey,
Shabon Moore. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a Shabon Moore fan, okay?
See.
you know how y'all do.
Shut up.
Look, Yella said he said y'all some colors.
Yes. I accept that.
Yo, so let's do this. Since we already in here, let's do this. We're gonna talk that love talk. Peace, blessings. Yes, Gabrielle, thank you for that love. I gotta make sure these settings on this camera because I'm starting to blur up a little bit. All right. So yeah. Quantum love, metaphysician, aka A1 Day One. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you. Oh yeah, to be loved,
It's gonna be
aka exceptional Erica. If you don't know what that means, then you don't know what that means. Hopefully you'll grow. Miss Deb, what's going on? Miss Deb, I see you in the spot. Yes. Mika Marcel, greetings, greetings. It's another day one. What's going on, Jasmine? How you feeling tonight? Thank you for coming back through. My guy, aka the Protector, MLW Fishing Man. If you think his wife is beautiful, think it and then forget it. You see that face? Like I said before, he don't play about his. All
Got a
right.
special set of skills.
Right. You see it? 3 milliseconds, blink, and then keep it moving. Damn, yo. I'm trying to figure this thing out here. Pardon me, man. It's new technology. It's like, do I got to freeze? I don't know, but we gonna figure it out tonight. All right. MLW, my guy. Who else? Inya. Oh yeah. I said Inya. Oh yeah. I told my old lady, yeah. I say, oh yeah, when I stick it in ya. You see what I did there? Ignore me.
I'm gonna leave you on your island.
You know, you gotta leave me on the island. You know what I mean? I'm a lyricist. We play with words over here. Who else we got? Who else we got? Hey, little bro from across the pond. Simon Hectic. What's going on, family?
Yo, Simon, what's good? I gotta get at you. I don't be on Instagram like that, but I seen you at inbox me something. I'm at you.
Yo, when you get an inbox from Simon, answer it. Normally, because of the time frame and the time zone and where we are, the Simon that we tend to get around this time and a little later, it's a different time zone or drink zone kind of Simon we get. You know what I mean? Like, if we caught him, say, noon or 3 o'clock our time, this dude is like super brilliant executive. You know what I mean? He works with paperwork, legal minutia, and all of that. When you catch him in the nighttime, our time, you might catch the post 8 or 9 shot Simon, which is a different kind of creature. So it's all about timing. But Simon Hectic is a brilliant brother. No, all jokes aside, man. Understand this guy is real with his. And we finna do something, believe it. Who else we got here? Miss Deb Quantum. Okay, cool. What I'm gonna do is blank the screen right here. And let's talk. We see what the topic is tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about what you think about this topic.
This shit is hard. Okay.
Say it again.
I said this shit is hard. I'm trying to make. Man. Are we neglecting our children for adulthood? A parent are neglecting. It's hard. I thought it was easy because they was 18. But I didn't know it was gonna be this difficult. I guess I wish my mom was here to help me give me some advice.
Okay. Hey, Jenny Morena. 6913. Mi amor.
Morena.
Mi amor. Bienvenidos a su casa. All right. Peace to Jenny Morena, 6913. All right.
You're giving out too many llaves. Now we don't know who's still.
No, listen, Big trying to jump in. He's like, "Oh, you giving out those tostadas with the ceviche? Shut up, yo. Let it go." I'm just messing with you, but yo, Andrea.
Yes.
I'm gonna give you your flowers, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I like my flowers.
Okay. So this topic was actually one of yours. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So this topic was one of yours. And I think that because of what you do in terms of your life and what you've done for a long period of time, it played a part. It plays a part. Me and Vic and I will be talking about this, we'll be talking about that, but then you'll end up coming with something about motherhood, foster care, parenting, and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, because that's your specialty, you know, you end up bringing us back, right? You end
Mm-hmm.
up bringing us back to what's important, which is the children. And what
Yes.
makes it important is the fact that that's our future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, with that being said, tell us, I want you to go into, um, come on, peace, peace, peace. What up, cuz? I'm a Gabriel in the spot. That's my cousin. His pops is my mom's big brother. Put it like that, real cuz. So, if he says any bullshit in the chat, please understand that it doesn't reflect all the, what I mean? He knows that he's blood, so he might go a little extra. Don't mind him. We got him on medicine.
You
So,
blood or cuss. Now what is it?
right. You know what I'm saying? So, Andre,
Yes.
tell us, I want you to tell us about, without going too deep, some of the stresses that you have as a mom and the things you worry about as a mom.
As a mom, I'm worrying about. I have a son and my daughter. My son is 23. My daughter is 24. And as a mom, I worry about what their career plan is. How they are they taking care of themselves? Are they self sufficient? They don't have to depend on me. You know, now my daughter's having a baby. I want her to be a good mom, but she don't know some other stuff about being a mom. She have seen me, but it is difficult when they're going down the wrong road, and they are, and they're not listening, and they tell you I'm grown. And I used to have this saying: being grown and acting grown is two different things. When mama is paying your cell phone bill, your car insurance, you ain't grown yet. And so I worry that, they think they grown. They might be grown, it might be grown in age, but they're not grown sometime in mind. Mute chef.
I ain't saying nothing. I
Okay.
was just moving. You, I was just moving. Oh, look, you thought I was moving like I was about to say some craziness. Nah, I
Okay.
was just,
They think they're grown, but they're not grown. They're not fully grasping what grown is. Like we was having a conversation the other day, and she's like, "Oh, I got to pay a deposit for moving into a place." I was like, "Oh, you don't know that?" I'm like, "That's what we have to do," and it's like, I don't know. I guess my mom and my dad was preparing me to be grown when I first got my first job. You know, at 16. I don't know. I think, and I could maybe I felt my parents was hard on me, and I didn't want to be that hard on my children. And I think letting them get away with stuff that my parents damn well would never let me get away with. Maybe I don't know. Their work ethic is not the same as mine because my parents was like very hard on my work ethic. We had to go to work every day after school, even though we hated and complained and stomp and cry. We didn't want to go to work. We still. My mom was like, "Daddy said y'all come to work and he don't care how you feel." I didn't do that to my kids, and I it's just hard.
it's funny when you brought that up, right?
Uh-huh.
One of the funny thing is, I do believe that there's a purposeful disconnect that we normally do. But hold on, let me get this branding up here right. There we go. There we go. Let them know who the team is right now. All right. So there's a natural disconnect that comes when related to parents and then the grandparents.
Mhm.
A lot of us have had those feelings where it was like, damn, look at the way my parent, my mom or my dad is with my child.
Mhm.
They were they were way more stricter with me than they are with my own kid.
Mhm.
Damn, they're letting them slide with this, that, and the other. And sometimes we tend to feel a way about it. But what I think we don't pay attention to is that we were the guinea pigs.
Mhm.
We
Mhm.
were we were the lesson. And some of the things that our parents, some of the strictness, versus leniency that they used with us, they're going to move a little differently with our child because they were able to recognize. That's why whenever you see your child has this weird, special kind of relationship with your mom or dad that you didn't have, and you almost get envious of it, it's because you were part of the road, you know, you were part of the test, the part of the understanding. And now that that parent has gained, that grandparent has gained that level of understanding, you were the reason that made them tweak, the way that they treat the next generation. So it's not a negative thing. When you
No,
see
it's
that,
not.
what it is that it's actually your parent learning from you and applying that knowledge to your children.
Yeah, but my mama and daddy didn't play. The minute they spoke our name, they said one time. They didn't say two, three, four. And now they didn't even have to use any cuss words. When you heard that my daddy called my name, are we moving? Okay, these kids around here don't move that fast. They slow as I don't know what, and then you get mad because I might have to cuss your ass out because you grown now. I can say how I feel.
Uh-oh, you made Vic cam up.
You don't throw enough shoes.
Right. You
Wait,
gotta
say.
get
You don't
you
throw
gotta
enough
get your
shoes.
you gotta
But see,
get your
I
you gotta
didn't,
get
I
get your
didn't,
sand
I didn't
get
do
your
that.
sandal ninja game up. You know what I mean? You gotta get
I
your
didn't,
sandal ninja game up.
It don't even come off your foot fast enough. I can tell you ain't been
Right.
practicing.
but I didn't want to be that kind of parent. Like
Shit.
I didn't want to do that. It's like,
Shit.
man, I don't know. I just don't. I just like, man. Sometimes I be like, man, this is that bullshit for real, for real.
So what do you think? You think in terms of the parents, what do you think about the parents now versus the parents of old?
The parents now was more stricter. The parents now was more they didn't play. And these parents see these some of these kids today, they bad as hell. I'm just saying, I mean, like some of these kids go in a place that be disrespectful. I just wouldn't like. I know how my daddy roll. I ain't going nowhere to get in trouble by my daddy. Look, mama, I might could slide, but my daddy, if
Mm.
my mama said, I'm telling your daddy on you, oh, it's on. Daddy didn't play. No, I don't want daddy to hurt me. No, I was scared more of my daddy than my mama. But I mean, mama, she did a lot of yelling and whooping. But my daddy,
A lot of yelling and whooping.
my daddy, all he gotta do is just speak, okay? And we was like, okay, daddy, we got you. We gonna do it
You gotta
again.
watch out, yo. You know they ain't no statute of limitations on child abuse, right? Just
I'm a
saying.
grown 47-year-old woman. Mama gone to heaven, okay? She done the best she could with what she had, okay? God rest her soul. But I'm just saying we just didn't. And even though I was a rebel, even though I asked questions because she hated that about me, she'd be like, "Didn't I tell you don't be asking me no questions?"
Asking all them questions.
Yes, she
Asking
hates.
all them
My
questions.
mama
Asking
used
all
to.
them damn
I used to
questions,
make
man.
her. I used to
You the
make her
goddamn
mad.
police.
I used to make her mad. She
Better
was like,
fuck your back up.
Right.
she was like, "Don't be asking me no questions." I was like, well, "Why we got to do that?" Because I said so. I'm a mama here. That's what she used to say to me.
God, don't
My
you
kids, I try to explain. Try to, tell them why we doing this. This is a reason why. I mean, my mama like, yeah, I ain't telling you. You gonna do it because I said so. I understand. I just feel like some of these kids, they haven't had it too easy.
So
Because I got a job at 16 because I had three kids behind me. We wanted to get some stuff, and my dad was only giving us $5. $5 wasn't gonna buy me some Jordache jeans.
You had 3 kids at 16?
No, I had three kids behind me. Like I had three brothers and
no,
three.
she had 16 kids at 3. There's a difference.
No,
Gotcha.
I didn't. It was 7
I knew I
kids.
heard that.
Look at you. It was 7 kids in the family, and I had three brothers who were behind me, and I wanted to buy us stuff that my daddy said he wasn't buying. So I got a job at 16. So I wanted to buy us some stuff that we wanted. We wanted.
Mika Marcel said it was opposite in our household. My dad had 5 girls. Mama didn't play.
Mm.
And Hey,
Hey,
Black TV. My God, what it do, big dog? Yeah, he Black Mom used to whip the shit out of him. All right.
daddy be soft on them girls.
You know how it is. Look, Gabrielle said that belt, man, I miss it. Yeah,
Hell no,
yo.
you don't.
Look, let me
Not
tell
if you
you,
ever got it right.
just like I
Okay.
brought up about that church song that used to be the end of church, you know what I mean? Gabrielle know there's a certain punishment that Haitian parents used to instill on you. And depending
This
on
nigga said he
how
missed the
much
belt.
they went to the church, that
Mhm.
would be the extra piece, right? Man,
Yeah.
Christians, yo, they skilled at torture, yo. There's this
Mhm.
thing called mete à
Mhm.
genoux. That means get on your knees, right?
Mhm.
That means you had to get on your knees, but it wouldn't be just on your knees, on your knees. You know, when you got a chair, you know, at the bottom by the chair legs, that little
Mhm.
slat, that the little bar that goes across at the bottom to keep the legs of the chair stable, you had to put your knees on that.
Fuck that.
What? And if your family was extra Christian,
Mhm.
you had one of the Bibles in the left hand, and the other hand would be like the hymnal, you know, one with all the church songs.
Mm-mm.
And you had to literally be like that, yo, damn near torture, son. I'm
That's
not
why y'all
making
won't be
it up.
running over.
Mete à genoux, right? Some people call it the chair punishment. That's some Caribbean shit right there,
Mhm.
right?
My
Look,
uncle used
look,
to
look,
make.
you see, he's Canadian Haitian, so you know there's a little colder up there. He said, "On your
Oh
knees,
wow,
on melting ice."
really, nigga? Hey,
Man,
Yes.
listen. There,
I'm
it,
saying true.
there's a fine line between discipline and abuse, and I'm glad that we on this side of the pendulum instead of the other one because that shit had
Look, my
got a
mama.
little bit crazy back in the growing up days.
I
But
one day I said, Mama, do you know it's not okay to whip me? She said, Girl, who you talking to? I said, Because you know my friends say it's a thing called CPS. She said, I wish you would call on me, and when they finish calling me and taking me to jail, you'll be at the you'll be at a children's home, and you ain't come back to this house ever again. That was she told me.
nah, my mama told me, hey, you know I'm gonna get out, right?
Yo, son.
I said, oh shit, I ain't think about that.
Yo, the craziest thing in the world is like the joke I used to make is, yeah, you can't whoop your kids now because the first thing they teaching them in preschool is those 1-800 numbers. You know what I'm saying? They teaching them 1-800 numbers now, so you got to be careful. You got to be careful.
Oh, I heard about that rice shit. That's some super ass
Yes,
medieval shit, yo. That
yes.
shit is
No, no,
that shit
that's the
is
rice,
uncool.
the salt. Oh, he said the de-icing salt. Yep, the melting salt.
Why? Why?
What do you mean? Why? Because it was pain. It was pain.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just saying,
It's the
bro.
equivalent of an ass whipping. Watch this. Watch this. 20 licks with the belt up against your ass, or 20 minutes with your arms stretched out with Bibles and your knees on ice, on ice melting salt. Which would you take?
Just in case y'all don't know what that is, that's them big ass rock salt looking joints.
Mm-hmm. Which
That
would
ain't
you
regular
take?
table salt.
Which would you
Um,
take?
none of the above.
All right.
I,
See, you there you go changing the
I'm emancipating myself, and I take
so
my
okay,
chance
no,
in the
so I can answer
trees.
the question, right? So let me answer this. Let me drop it. My mom, when it was time to whip my ass, and I was a cantankerous kid as a child. The thing is, I was smart too, and I used to read and do all kinds of stuff. So when she would go to whip my ass, I would literally do this weird thing where I would put myself into kind of a weird trance where I would think about the best places, Disney World, and the places I wanted to be.
Hmm,
Swear to you. The thing is, she
interesting.
picked up on it because there was one point where I was still there and the ass whipping was over, but I was
Hmm.
still there and she was trying to figure out what the hell is he doing. So after that, what she used to do was tell me how many lashes I was going to get, and I had to count them as I got them so they would keep me in the moment. she was able to figure me putting myself
Said,
into a trance.
Yeah, she did a Fight Club.
I used
This
to
is your
think
pain.
I
This
used to
is
put
your pain.
myself into a weird
Look at
trance,
me.
and she figured it out, and I had to count. And if I miscount, I had to start over. Oh, son. The thing is, when we look at it in terms of now, and we think about it the way it was before, they're gonna have different names. They're gonna have different laws and all of that stuff. But when we understand who we were as children and understanding the things that we needed to move forward, sometimes the evil needs to be dealt with force.
Mhm.
I believe that evil needs to be handled with force. It's not always words. It's not always words. I always use this metaphor. When Christ saw the merchants and the money changers in the temple, did he
Mhm.
come in and utilize words and discuss it with them and give them a sermon? No. Him and his 12 goons whoop they asses, flip they motherfucking tables over, and whoop they asses out of their father's temple. Sometimes, in many instances, evil has to be dealt with within a forceful manner. I'm just saying.
Mm.
And sometimes the fear of those ass whippings made me think twice.
Mine
And
did too.
and it's not just the fear of the ass whipping, just knowing how beautiful and genteel and poised my mom was. She was a model, beautiful, all of that. And then just knowing that a certain subset of behaviors I could make will turn her into a freaking demon with a sandal.
I
Just
used
that
to
fear
hate.
within itself, it's real.
I used to hate when she want to talk to me while she give me a whipping. I was like, "Why does that make any sense? Why you talking? Just everybody get this over with."
But check me out though.
Mm-hmm.
So I would, as a child, you may fear your parent or your mother or whatever. In my case, my mother. Um, but the fear, like as I got older and got some size and got to thinking like, I think I could take this lady. Um, at the end of the day, the thing that really kept me in check was not. It was no longer her or the
Mm-hmm.
fear of a whooping. It was okay. So when you get pulled over by the law, right? Maybe it's a old man or a small frame woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they can give you the same commands as the guy who's 6'4", 250, and you're gonna obey them just the same. It's not the gun, because a person on the street could confront you with a gun, but the thing that commands that respect, that makes people say yes sir and no ma'am, I think is the fact that with a click of a button,
Mm-hmm.
they have an army on command that will support them. And my mother had that. Like, if she was to ever report in on me and say, "Oh, he think he a badass, he raising up on me,"
Mm-hmm.
there was a procession of men who would be waiting to fuck me up in real time, in real life. You know what I mean? That love me, but would break my ass down and make it known that I bet not never even taking no deep breath towards my mother. So that leering in the background gave her voice more resonance in my head, in my heart. So it didn't require an excessive amount of ass whoopings to keep me in check. I thought of what I needed to do. I thought of the repercussions. I thought of the shame, knowing that my mama gonna tell everybody what the fuck I did if I messed up. You know what I'm saying? And she wasn't gonna care. She wasn't gonna hold back. And all of those things, and not wanting to disappoint people who I knew had high aspirations of me. Those are the things that kind of kept me in line. when my brothers were coming up, my uncle, he used to make belts. You know, my people, like, they farmers and they country people, you know, so they skilled and they crafty, you know. And my uncle, he used to make belts, and he made he made my mother several series of very what would you call them, ingenuitive creations and ass whooping technology.
Genius.
Okay, so he had this one called, they call it blackjack, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it had like a handle, like an umbrella type handle,
Mm-hmm.
but like the wooden joints, but it attached to it, it had like 8 long strips of leather, like some old slave time medieval whoop yourself shit. And basically two strokes of that, you had your whole ass whooping, right? So my parents took a liking to that because it wasn't as much work for them. Even the threat of that, you know, you get hit with that one time, you good for the day. You don't want to do nothing. So my brother and them, they got rid of that one. And they swear, oh, we didn't know, we don't know what happened. I'm like, oh, said, oh, that's all right, that was right. I'm gonna get another one. So in my day coming up, there was one called Betsy Joe, right? And it was like pig hide and whatever it was made of, that was the hardest shit ever, but it was flexible and it did not break, but it'll break your motherfucking wrist if you hit it hard enough. And I'm telling you, man, just a few strokes on that guy, yo, you want to change your address. Like, yo, I'll just take my chances in the world. If they kill me, they kill me. So when we moved to Georgia, yo, my brother looked at me, I looked at him. He grabbed that shit and he put that shit on top of the car, and I was like, woo. Hey, look, we took that road. I heard that shit. I was like, what was that? Oh no, I ain't hear nothing.
Yo, son, let me tell you this, right? Let me say what's up first. Let me say what's up. Jasmine, she dying laughing over there. Big Rick Slaps was good. Him versus Her Solutions, aka Manosphere Woman versus Womanisphere, aka AR Stratus Bride. You already know. Peace, my dude. Peace, Red Lipstick Vibes. Right? And Big Rip Slaps, if I didn't say it before. Thanks for coming through. Yo, son. So I had the blessing, you know, I was a child of divorce where my mom and my dad, they divorced when I was 5 years old. But my stepdad, you know, she and my dad, she knew our families, you know, he knew our families since childhood. So within about 2.5 years, my mom remarried my stepdad. So in my life, I feel like I had two, right? Rest in peace to my stepdad. Yo, the craziest thing was this dude was 6'4", 300 something pounds. He was an ex Haitian national soccer player, heavy set dude, big dude. When it was time for me to get an ass whooping, I preferred to get an ass whooping from him as opposed to getting an ass whooping from my mom. I believe that she tended to over rotate because of the fact that she was a woman and I was a male child. I mean, she got straight medieval on my ass, yo.
She
And
gave
if
you
you
a little
see her,
extra.
she's the most poised and genteel woman that you can ever see. But she used to just turn into like a fucking Haitian chupacabra. You know what I mean? Like, and go medieval on my ass. There was one point, my stepdad, I preferred to get a whooping from him. God bless his heart. Because he was so big and brawny, he used to pull back a little bit.
Mm.
And you know, when I know I got an ass whipping coming, fuck accountability. I'm like,
Okay, Matrix.
I'm moving, Matrix, all of that, right? I ain't staying still for no ass whooping, period. I could deserve the shit. And I'm a run. Okay. So yo, son, I used to get a little squirrely from him. And there was one point, this is back in the early 80s. He used to watch that, what was that shit? TJ Hunter and all them 80s shows. So he tried to hit me with one of these one day, right? Where I'm moving around, he gets frustrated. You remember the old school TV show that hit you with the karate chop in the neck? and the motherfuckers just fall out. yo, son. He hit me with one of those shits, and I fake fell out.
Okay, like you got to kill your ass. Oh God.
Like you got first hit me with the shit. I went like this.
Instant stroke.
And I knew it worked because he went and tried to shake me.
So, I got him now. Sell it.
Yo, son, I swear to you, this is a real story where he hit me with the shit. And my mom, she know my faces. You know what I mean? Moms used to get me.
We can laugh now.
Moms used to get me with the cord, with the washing machine shit. That gray cord. If you ain't never catch the gray
washing machine shit,
man, listen. But hold on, mommy is old now. I don't, there ain't no statute of limitation on child abuse, so we got to chill. Biden he ain't got no more pardons in him, so I got to chill.
You ever got your ass whipped coming out the tub, chef?
Coming out the what?
The tub.
The tub.
Out the bath.
No, I got my ass whooped into the tub. You know what I mean? You ever catch the church whooping? Here's the church whooping. This is the church whooping. It's when my mom would grab my ear. She grabbed that ear and she pinched it in a certain way. And you go and touch it and you feel like, damn, how the hell she get skin off the damn ear? You know what I mean? It'd be that one where it's loud, it's silent. You know what I mean? Silent but effective. Yeah. Parenting is sacrifice. Parenting is torture. It's just the right balance. Let's keep it going. I know Andrea got ass whooped a whole gang of times.
No, I did. That wasn't that damn bad. It was my sister and them. We got them. Man, I was asking the questions.
Oh, so okay. My bad. You was the.
But she would pop me upside my head for asking them damn questions. She said, didn't I tell you don't ask me a question? I was like, but why we got to do this? Okay, so every holiday, my mom would cook for the church people. They would come over, and the grown folks ate first. I used to hate that shit too. The grown folks ate first, okay, and then the kids ate. And then we had to do all the damn dishes. I was like, can they go home? And mama said, did I tell you don't ask me no questions? And I'm hungry too. They ate up all the food. One time. She made the dessert. And she made 2 of them. But it was so many people at the house. We didn't get none. And that's mama's favorite dessert. I love the shit out of that. Oh man, that cherry delight is off the motherfucking chain. You want to taste it? It's off the chain. Only Miss Thomas can make it good. Everybody else tried it. They can't do it like she can. But one day I said, Mama, we didn't get none. She said, did I urge you to? Because I screamed out. I screamed out right in front of the church people. We didn't get none, Mama. She can't make it. Did I tell you to shut up? I said, Mama, but they ate it all.
So what was that dish, Andrea?
It was called the Cherry Delight.
Okay, so Cherry Delight. That was yours. That's funny. I was gonna actually go. Because we're going to go take a little trip. So, Vic, what was that dish that your mama made that was your favorite or that everybody loved? That was, if it was a record, that would be her Grammy.
Mac and cheese or that banana pudding from scratch?
Okay.
Meringue on it. With the meringue on it, that's the only way you eat it good.
I like meringue. I like meringue.
She ain't make no meringue, but I know what you're talking about.
I'm a citrusy kind of guy. I sound like I'm saying I'm a fruity kind of dude. I guess I got to pause. And I said it first.
Big pause.
No, I said pause. I said it first. Yo, cuz. Yo, Ev, if you in the chat still, right?
Cook him.
Right. Yo, what was the dish that my mom, because my mom is actually, who's his aunt, is actually his godmother too. What was my mom's most famous dish that everybody rocked with, cuz? Put it in the chat real quick. I'm going to give you 10 seconds. And everybody else in the chat, I want you to throw in what was your mama's dish, the one, not just the one you liked, but the one that everybody in the family loved. The one, you know what I mean? That one dish that she used to have to make multiple of for everybody else.
I said they greedy. That's what I used to say. They some greedy people.
Nah, there's certain things that you make, like there's certain dishes. There was a certain dish that I used to make where that was a favorite for a lot of people in my family. One of the dishes was, well, one of the main ones was the salmon stuffed with lump crab meat and shrimp, right?
Mm.
And that was, baked salmon stuffed with lump crab meat and shrimp. That was one of my dishes where everybody asked for it. Where's my participation in the chat? Thank you, Miss Deb. Excuse me. She said her mom's was pot roast. Folks, I'm just asking you to throw in what was your mom's signature dish. That's not hard, right? Throw in what your mom's
if you don't,
signature dish was. Somebody. Let's have some fun over here.
chef, chef.
Hmm?
When you make mac and cheese, do you see the need? Do you use the egg in it? Would you ever use egg?
Yes. Here's the thing. Watch this. A lot of people don't realize or recognize that some of the great mac and cheeses have egg in there. The egg works. Don't think of the egg in a singular fashion. The egg works as what's called a binder that allows everything to gel together. If the food pieces, the macaroni and the cheese and the other stuff were bricks, the egg is the mortar that holds them together. That's why you'll find egg and breadcrumbs or bread, or some sort of starch in burgers and preformed burger patties, because those are binders that keep them solid. You feel what I'm saying? So you won't even taste the egg. Believe it. You won't even taste the egg. There's other flavors in there that will make the egg pretty much innocuous. Let me see what we got over here. Pot roast, potato salad. All right. Ha Jiri collé, poule, banane pesée, and légumes. Jiri collé is Haitian sticky rice. Poule is chicken. Banane pesée is the flattened. It's the flattened plantains
like
that are fried like fritters, and then legume, which is pretty much stewed vegetables. Stewed vegetables. But yeah. Yep. To Be Love said egg is a binder. All right. Exactly. Cool. So we know about that stuff. We know about that good stuff. We know about what we loved about mama. Let's talk about these kids. So what I want to do is throw a little something out here for my folks. Let's go.
For answers into how this happened, we want to warn you what you're about to see might be disturbing.
He look like a dog been beating on him. This is my son.
Tiffany Griffin was so upset about the condition of her son that she went on Facebook Live to vent. We'd like to warn
Go
you
on mute.
that the picture of her one-year-old son, Jesse Harris, support is
Andrea,
hard to look at. He suffered injuries while he was at the Kitty Garden Daycare located at 1853 East 38th Street. We went to the daycare to try to get some answers. No one answered the door. No answers from the daycare were forthcoming. It is unclear exactly how Jesse IV sustained those injuries, but as Aunt said, it was not one of the other children at the daycare center.
Did no child do that? No child. That was done by an adult. And they need to find out who done this. And they need them to be arrested and to be responsible for this.
So let's talk about
I couldn't see what happened to the child because it was censored. You want to explain what that was going on?
Nah, go ahead. I just deleted the shit. So what did you see, Andrea?
It looked like he had a bruise. I couldn't really see it, but like the child had a bruise. And she said it didn't happen. She said if adult did it, no child did it. So I couldn't really see it. So
right. So pretty much what took place was there was some bruising that appeared on the child from the, and the parent was stating that it was some bruising that took place while the child was in the custody of the care facility.
Mm-hmm.
So now my question is, how would you, just with that fact alone, how would you respond to that type of situation, Andrea? If you notice that you picked up your child and the child was in the care of someone else, be it a facility, be it an individual, how would
So
you
you
respond to that?
want to be honest? I'm an academic fool. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest. I ain't happy. She's my mother child. I'm trying to figure out how these bruises are on my child, and I damn sure didn't do it. And I brought him to this facility while I'm working, and nobody's explaining to me what happened. It's a problem around here. I'm gonna ask nicely. Now that I'm grown, I might act nicely. If I was 22 or 23 and I just had my baby, I'm gonna act a damn fool because I'm trying to figure out what happened to my baby at a facility. And pretty wow, that is the exact reason why I decided to stay home and have a home daycare at my own house, because I didn't want my child who couldn't talk to speak and couldn't tell me what's going on. So, you know, mm-mm.
You see that right there? What you just said?
What?
I don't believe any child should be in a daycare away from home.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Whether it's a family member or not,
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
where they
wow.
can't say what's going on, what happened. They can't communicate to you if something goes wrong.
So hold
Mm-hmm.
on. Let me say peace to Demeta or Demita. I don't want to massacre your name,
That's
but the
Demeter.
fact that you're a
Amita.
new soul in the spot, it is Demita.
Yeah, one of my peoples. Yeah,
Everybody
Amita.
is your peoples. Well, she my peoples now. How about that? She's mine now.
You like
Hey,
dibs?
Demita, you are being hypnotized. What up, Demita? Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. And take your spot in the garden. This is your crib too. Let's go. Come with it. Go ahead, Vic.
Yeah, I believe that. I mean, if they can't talk, I don't think they should be in the facility where they going. I mean, I was lucky that able enough to my sister-in-law watches my daughter when I went back to work, but I knew how she was good with her kids, so I didn't have a problem letting my daughter go down there to her aunt's house while I went to work.
Hmm.
But you know,
What's funny is I can't say that I was the person that would not let my child be with my family, you
mm-hmm,
know.
mm-hmm,
So both my lady and myself, we executive for the same company.
mm-hmm,
And then my daughter was born, and we both had work schedules. And when it was time for her to go back to work, you know, it was like, what are we gonna do? And I
mm-hmm,
know, being a dude whose parents are from the Caribbean, even though I was born here, in my mind, I said that the people that I would feel the most comfortable watching my child were older women
mm-hmm,
that were comfortable with raising children. So in
mm-hmm,
my mind, it
Right.
was an
mm-hmm,
old Jamaican, Caribbean, Haitian lady, even an old ass Chinese lady. You know what I
mm-hmm,
mean? The ones that got like 2 or 3 kids and they still could make you some fried rice and shit. You know what I mean? Like, it was literally those. If you happen to be like Latino or Latina or Latinx, whichever one you choose, una vieja,
mm-hmm,
una vieja. If you African, an oma. You get what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
If you Haitian you know, on vieux patate, you know what I mean? Like on granny, on grandma, one of the oldies but goodies that is so comfortable in this thing where they don't freak out. They know how to do this shit in their sleep,
mm-hmm.
but it had to be of somebody of some sort of resonance from us. So who ended up being our daughter's babysitter? One of our coworkers who happened to be a friend and worked together for years, his wife, you know, she was into childcare and all of that. And, she had some medical issues, so she was home. and she ended up being, and she happened to be of Caribbean descent. Both of them, they Puerto Rican, and literally they were the babysitters, and they lived not too far from the home, and they were my daughter's babysitters for a couple of years, you know. And the beauty of it is they taught her Spanish. You know, she knew how to count. She was counting in Spanish before she was counting in English, you know, and she wasn't even in school. And I believe that I said all of that long-winded ass shit to say we may not always have the right answer or what's the right path, but if we even start to do the equation to figure out or design what's the path, we're in a better place than if we didn't.
Yep.
Vic stated, and Vic does not have any children of his own yet, right? He's intentional with his Johnson ladies. You get what I'm saying? He know his pull-out game is. I heard it's impressive. Hall of Fame, right? He does yoga before sex, y'all. So he puts the soldiers to sleep. But anyway, right? The thing is, though, him just having an idea on what he's gonna do, what he's going to allow or not allow, it puts him in a better place for when it's time for the things to happen. You know, I had an idea. Andrea has an idea. So without belaboring the point, I think it's important for us to have some sort of framework in place in terms of what we're gonna allow for our child. What do you think about that, Andrea?
Yes, I definitely agree with. When I got pregnant with my second child, they're 14 months apart, and I was like, and then childcare was expensive. I was like, I am not. I was just working to pay childcare, and I was like, I want to stay home and open my own daycare business.
Lazy broad.
No, I wasn't lazy for you. I was a great daycare provider for your information. Okay, so I decided I wanted to stay at home, but that was the wrong move, my dumb ass, because I love my kids, but I was like, I miss work. That shit was more work at home than working at my other working job. And I realized I was like, ugh, I miss work. But I knew I miss work. And he only stayed home a week, okay? After a week, he went back to work. I was like, I miss work.
Last time you heard that shit.
I was like, I miss work. I miss people. I was like, I didn't really like being at home.
Miss talking to people your own damn age.
Yes. I'm like, yes, I miss work. I miss people. So I did.
So you miss balance. So what's this?
Yeah.
And for the record, folks, believe it, this thing is not going on a tangent. One thing that I did, and even Vic tried to call me early and try to be like, yo, so what's the layout? I said, don't worry about the layout. This is all going where it's supposed to go. Andrea, you said that you missed work, right?
Yes, I miss work. I miss work because I'm like
no. I heard you on that one. And you articulated yourself. You missed work, but then here's the thing. At some point, going back to work, or if you had to, at some point you would be back on. Man, I'm tired of this shit. What I believe is that you didn't actually miss work. What you missed was balance. Kitty shit, grown up shit.
Yes.
Kitty shit, grown up shit.
Yes.
You had all kitty shit. So it wasn't so much that I don't believe that it was so much that you missed work. I believe that you missed balance, and there's a difference.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? What do you think about that?
I miss my coworkers because we was cool. We was all cool people. So I miss my coworkers. I miss the interaction. I felt like, oh my God. I love my kids, but I miss the interaction. I miss the interaction, just kicking it, talking about the kids, just normal people talking about our regular lives. And it was like, I feel like I got depressed because I was like, man, I miss people.
That's that PBS programming, that damn Teletubbies and Gullah Gullah Island on repeat to do that to you.
And then, you know what? I don't even like that shit. I don't like kid movies and stuff like that. I don't. My Eric will be like, Dre, you see the kid movie? No, I don't like that shit. But I would just let the kids watch it. But I'm like, I don't enjoy that. But I was like, but she was like, but you got kids. I don't enjoy it. It's not fun for me. Reading Rainbow and Bob the Builder. That shit wasn't fun. That shit wasn't fun. My kids loved it. Okay, my kids loved it, but it wasn't fun. I feel like I didn't have a balance. Maybe that's what I did. That's the truth. And I think I was a little jealous of my husband because he had to go out and work and still have adult time, and I'm like, no, he coming home. He want cook, clean, iron. The kids. Oh, I was like, oh, this is a lot. And I was a young mom too, so I was like, this is a lot. I was like, I don't know how my mama had 7 kids. I would have been in the crazy house.
The thing is, though, you understand the importance of it. Before we continue, I want to send a special shout out to Demita. That's our newest subscriber. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. And if your name is not Demita, and even if it is, please share the stream, share the channel. We're a humble channel trying to do what we do and share our truths with you guys, even if it seemed like some bullshit. We still gonna keep coming to the table and trying to entertain, inform, educate, and provide you with a little sprinkle of intrigue. All right. Thank you, Demita. This is the Demita moment, y'all.
Yeah, I did. I didn't have balance, and so when my friends just come over, and my girlfriend, I love my girlfriend Andrea. Her name's Andrea too, but she always rode a
Go
fancy ass.
figure.
She always drove a fancy ass cars, them Lexus, okay? And she was like, we gotta put the baby car seat in the car too. And she always had them leather seats. I was like, Drea, it's a car seat. She was like, I was like, girl, we ain't riding then. And we came to the car seat to kind of keep the baby had to have a car seat. But man, I could wait till she come over and we go out. And one time we spent 3 hours at Walmart. I didn't get home at like 3 in the morning. My husband's like, well, Trey, what y'all do at Walmart? Just kicking at Walmart. It was so fun. Just kicking at Walmart, just doing normal things. So I
All right.
think a balance. It was a balance. I know it is. It's a balance.
So let's talk.
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about parenting and our understanding of what's important in terms of being a parent, let's talk about what y'all think when we see other parents. Because we always talk about accountability, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, normally I wait till everybody gets to say their piece, and then I'll say my bullshit so that nobody else gets to be associated with it, right? So I'm gonna give my bullshit. In our community, we always talk about accountability whenever it comes to the sexes, issues of the sexes. It's about, accountability, hold each other accountable, hold ourselves accountable, blah, 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 accountability. But at the same time, within the quasi-urban dynamic of where we live and how we live as a people, we also move with the mind your own business. That ain't your business. Shut your mouth. That's their business. That ain't your business.
True. Well,
And
it wasn't.
wait. You gotta let me land this one. Yeah, you gotta let me land this one. You don't know where I'm going. Trust me. You understand where I'm coming from. You don't know where I'm gonna land at, right? I'm gonna say this. We talk about responsibility. We speak about accountability. And I'm speaking within our community, right? But what happens is we also talk about mind your motherfucking business. That ain't your business. Snitches get stitches. Don't talk shit. When the other community, they have, if you see something, say something. Right? So my thing is this. I believe that within our community, we do lack accountability in terms of what we instill within our children because we will allow account. Part of accountability is shame. Part of accountability is the fear of punishment.
Mm.
But if everybody's going to be silent about what they see and don't elicit that shame and the fear of social punishment, what is the ultimate social punishment? Ostracization, right? Being ostracized from the community. It's kind of like what jail is. That's literally what jail is.
Mm-hmm.
Solitary confinement.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. But we don't practice it within our community. We turn a blind eye and mind our motherfucking business. It ain't your business. Snitches get stitches. So I state that I believe that concept within itself, that conundrum, is also something that leads to where we are as a people in terms of how we're raising our children to move into the future. What do y'all think about that?
What was the last statement you said? You believe that it what?
Has an impact on how we lead our children into the future and raise them into the future. And for the record, you know what I mean? I've been sipping on a little beer and shit. So, son, you're gonna have to catch them streams of consciousness when they come, yo. You're asking me to repeat shit. I'm speaking from my heart. That's open bandwidth.
Hey,
Go ahead, yo. I'm talking shit. Go ahead.
what you think about that? Looking ass boy. Hey, so listen. Take the other day for example, right? So I happen to be on the phone and I'm sitting in the car, you know what I'm saying, on the phone, talking whatever the fuck. I'm about to move off somewhere, but I'm just posted for a minute. And I see the school bus come by, whatever, kids get off, whatever. These girls, they're walking by, maybe 12, 13 years old. Two girls. Here come two nappy-headed ass little boys. And they want to pick up pine cones and throw them at the damn girls. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I see, and one of the girls, she had some heart, so she picked up one and like threw it back. But I mean, he pegged her, bam, busted right in the head. I like, hop out the car. If you hit that goddamn girl one more time, I'm on your ass. Know that. Look like. And then you can see him. He just like shook it off like, he ain't my daddy. He can't that. So you see him, they left him alone. The girls gone. They walk on around the corner. So you see them, they over there collecting more pine cones. They collecting more pine cones, keep looking at my car, collecting more pine cones, looking at my car. Then they like go run around the corner. I like, okay, they going to chase the damn girl. They trying to see how invested am I in following my threat through.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But what I understand is that in the area that I'm in, like, should I snatch one of these boys up by his collar and go, hey, where the hell you live at? And I go pull up on his doorstep and knock on the door. And trust me, I know this to be a fact. This ain't what I think will happen.
Mm-hmm.
That I'm gonna have to shoot your damn parents in the face because they goddamn more ignorant than you. Now I understand why you out here like this. You ain't even the problem. You know what I'm saying? So when you speak of people turning a blind eye, it was that same thing I was talking about with my mother when I know she has an army behind her. You know what I'm saying? I know if I fuck up here that it doesn't stop here. So when you say, okay, the guy across the street, Mr. Brown, hey, what's wrong with your hat, boy? What's wrong with that pants leg, boy? Man, Mr. Brown ain't my damn daddy, but shit. I know if I smart mouth Mr. Brown, he gonna walk over here, ring that damn doorbell, and it's gonna be worse.
Mm-hmm.
I might as well just listen. But you don't have that. You know what I'm saying? It's so many people afraid to even intervene when they see children doing ignorant shit, because not only are the children, you know, what I mean, a legitimate threat at this point, the people who should be giving you thanks and saying, you know what, I appreciate you. I'm gonna handle this shit at home. Thank you for notifying me. They gonna cuss you out. What the hell you saying something to my son for? What the hell you saying something? Mind your goddamn business. And before you get into that with an adult and some shit that don't even involve you, you know what I mean? Because everybody's really self-involved, saying like, listen, I got too much to lose. I ain't got no time to be dealing with what could go wrong if it don't go right. So I'd rather just gracefully bow out and allow it to happen. And then now you have what you have now. Kids doing whatever the fuck they want. And then you say, oh, well, our community's so fucked up, because no, everybody's responsible for this communal upbringing and rearing. It takes a village to raise a child, and you part of that village. That's that community we keep talking about.
Okay.
But not everybody feel that way. This new generation is different.
But forget them. Let's not talk about them yet.
Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying,
what do you feel? What do you feel? You,
me? Well, if my friend come and say, "Dre, your daughter was doing something," I'm gonna go, okay, she gonna be in trouble and stuff like that. She know better, but everybody don't feel that way.
No, I know, but we ain't talking. Remember, we're not talking about everybody.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Now watch this. We're gonna pop a little content creator collar right now. We're not talking about everybody, but the everybody's who's watching us, right?
Yes.
And they're interested in what you and us, the communal us, got to say. So what I'm saying is, I want to know how you feel. Don't forget what everybody else feels, because our sales don't move in that direction. Our sales move where our heart and our morality goes. So for you believe that it takes a village, yes or no?
Yes, it do take a village.
Vic, do you believe it takes a village, yes or no?
Absolutely.
All right, so let's take a look. Let's take a look at this thing here. Before we do that, everyone wants someone to intervene when they're in trouble, but before the trouble comes, they want to cuss you out. That's what I experience daily. All right, brother Derek C. Williams, washing clothes and watching the NFL playoffs. Respect due to Chef Shapino, watching live on YouTube from Philly. Peace to you and the city of brotherly love, and all my folks on Cherry Street, Market Street. You know what I mean? All of my homies out in Philly, you know what it is.
South.
Right. Come get me out of trouble, but don't want no help avoiding the trouble in the first place. Mr. Freeze.
I'm never going to Ishkabibbles again.
Right. Ishkabibbles. But yo, so let's drop this since we talk about the village. We're gonna talk about the village.
Yo, I think this person left their kid in the car. And it's running. Yo! There's a kid in this car. There's nobody in this car. Bruh. Bro, what the fuck? Is somebody's kid in their car?
That's mine. Fine.
Why you do that? That's not okay. Bro, that's not okay.
It's my kid.
You don't leave, bro. You don't leave a kid in a car.
It's not off.
That doesn't matter. Are you stupid? Are you?
Does anybody need me to play that again?
Was that the end of it when she walked in the store?
No, that was the beginning of it.
The beginning of it.
I'm gonna just play it again.
Okay.
Yo, I think this person left their kid in the car. And it's running. Yo! There's a kid in this car. There's nobody in this car.
Bro. Bro, what the fuck? Is somebody's kid in their car?
That's mine. It's fine.
Why you do that?
I'm just
That's
kidding.
not okay. Bro, that's not okay.
It's my kid.
You don't leave, bro. You
You
don't leave a kid in a car.
It's not off.
That doesn't matter. Are you stupid?
Don't
Are you?
All right, we up to speed.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. And there's certain subtle nuances or caveats to the conversation that may be addressed. But I want to talk about how we felt about that. So let's talk about it. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. Yeah, she should never. That's a baby in the car. Good gracious of life, man. Just take him. That's taking it aside. And I know sometimes we get lazy because I'm like, man, I don't want to take a kid and I got a stroller, car seat. I don't want to do all that. But it's still not safe to take a kid and leave him in the car by itself.
Okay, all right.
And I think she thought. I think she thought it was okay because it's right in front of the store. She parked right in front of the store, and she didn't think it was going to be that big a deal.
But in terms of just forget how anybody else thought, just in terms of what you, Andrea, rolling up on that situation would have thought. So far, for the record, let's do this. I want to make sure so we get this out for the show, right? If I'm asking y'all for y'all thoughts, don't nobody got to tell me about how somebody else is going to think or how the rest of society is going to think. I'm asking you specifically for how you think. You feel me? Forget you explaining anybody else, right?
Okay.
So you in that situation, what would you have thought? How would you have felt? And potentially, how would you have reacted based on what you saw?
Oh, I would have said, it's a kid in the car. I probably would have went there and looked for his mama. I'm like, girl, don't do that again. Let's get a CPS case. That's what I probably would have done. Just me.
So you would have did what?
I probably went in there and said, girl, don't do that again. You're going to get a CPS case.
Okay. So you would have pretty much gone in and kind of, tugged her and just let her know, hey, be careful, yo, such and such.
Yeah.
Okay. I can respect that. Vic, how about you?
I don't like to leave my gun in the car unattended. You know what I mean? They don't make no noise. So, as far as a child is concerned, it's way more precious. And as evil and as crazy as the world is, because what her response was, because I guess people will be tripping over people leaving children in the car unattended with the car off so that they can suffocate. But she was like, yo, like it's running. I got the AC on, we good type situation. But I personally just think it's a bad idea in general. That child can't defend itself. That child can't plead for help. That child can't jump out the car if somebody jumped in that motherfucker. So I figure it's like, what are you risking versus what are you saving? Risk versus reward. Your reward is, hey, I don't have to worry about pulling out the stroller and doing all this extra shit just to be in here for 10 minutes to go pick up whatever the hell I got to pick up. But would you trade that for what could potentially happen if somebody had, evil in their heart or mischief in their heart or whatever? I can't risk it. So in that scenario, had I come up upon that scene, probably would have did something very similar to the girl, which would have been like, I would walk in the store like, yo, who driving the navy blue, whatever the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And somebody had been like, yo, that's me, yo, blah, blah, blah. Like, yo, let me holler at you, Okay, yeah. You know, you got your kid out here. Like, yeah, I know. Yeah, what's it to you? Like, listen, bro, you got two choices. You can go get your kid, or I'm gonna go get your kid. How you want to handle it? You know what I'm saying? More so, I don't negotiate about children. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like my hot zone. People can be as evil and as fucked up. I understand what the world is. I accept it for what it is. I don't like it, but I accept it for what it is. But my number one rule is leave children out of it. You want to be fucked up, be fucked up. You want to be lazy, be lazy. You want to do whatever you do, just make sure the children are not involved. You want to smoke crack, fine, but they don't need to be in the same room with you. So at the end of the day, I can't go. I can't go. I got a story, Chef. When after you make your piece.
All right. So what I do have, let me see here. Let me go back to Beloved. Always perplexed about how to go to gas station these days. Didn't realize it till I was jumping out and looked back at my granddaughter. Oops, let me get this baby. Yeah, that's definitely important. I remember in Georgia, we have the spot called Quick Trip. And Quick Trip, if you catch you the parking spot in front of the door, you could literally be on the line and looking at your car and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And she, my ex, this was back in 2008. She had my daughter in the car in the seat. The car was locked from the outside, key fob, and she was in the store. Car was running, AC was on. And next thing you know, she was on the line. And by the time she hit the door, there was a cop that pulled up behind the car. And someone had called the police, you know. And I can't lie. When she told me about the story, like, yeah, this lady, such and such. Me personally, I had a fit. I had a fit. Like, what you leaving my daughter in the car for? Are you crazy? And that was the vibe that I was on. So I could understand giving a certain amount of grace, but by the same token, I didn't give the mother of my child grace in that situation. So, I kind of have to keep it consistent, right? Um, Me, if I had seen it, I would have done what Andrea said. I would have first taken into reference, taken into account if the car was on. If the car was on, I definitely would have taken that into account because, that would eliminate a potential safety issue as far as suffocation, heat
Mm-hmm.
stroke, them being able to breathe within that vehicle. That's one thing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, you know, I would have also, there's three things. I would have thought of the safety issue. If I'm passing through and it looks like it looks like the doors are unlocked, that's an additional safety issue of some weirdo trying to steal a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third piece was potential, potentially the police being involved. So I might let the person know, yo, hey, I know your car is running. You get what I'm saying? If that's your Camry or that's your Maxima out there, I see it's running. And I know you got the doors locked, but you want to be careful because some of these folks out here will see this and they call it Jakes. So you kind of want to be careful, man. You may want to just, you know, grab them. I've gone to the store with my child in the car, with my children in the car, and literally just that fear of fucking up or something happening. Nah, I just went with doing what I had to do. You always feel safer.
Mm-hmm.
And God forbid anything negative happened. That is your worst fear. In
Mm-hmm.
the end, you would not just be blaming whoever caused it, you would be blaming yourself and you
Yeah.
would consider your movement laziness.
Mm-hmm.
Laziness or a misthought. So
Uh,
I, especially when it comes to my children, I err on the side of caution.
I didn't tell you a story that happened. What happened to me? I put the kids in the car. I had my keys in the ignition, but I went back in the house. I went back in the house real quick to get something, and I left the keys. I left the kids in the car, and I could not get back in the car. I had to literally call 911 because the car was parked in front of the house. But I was like freaking out because the kids in the car, and I was like, I can't. And I was telling my daughter, but she wasn't age appropriate. She knew how to get out of her car seat, but she didn't know how to lift up the lot. That was like the most scariest thing. And I was so that's when I just started. I kept an extra key in the car, and I kept one on my chain when I before when I took the keys. But I kept two set of keys, one in the car and then one on my chain on my car keys because I was like, this shit ain't gonna never happen again. But I was scared. I was like, the keys in the car by themselves, and I can't get them out. Now one came, the fire truck came and helped me get the kids out. Never do that shit again. If I forget something, we all going in the house.
You ever had that scary moment when you're out with the child and then for a second you don't see them? They could literally be right behind you, but you don't see them.
Yes,
That fear.
Mm-hmm. That
I
happened to
mean,
me at the mall with my daughter. I had the double stroller, but she would always get out the stroller because she was always fasting with them clothes. We went to the mall a lot. 'Cause I hated being at home, so I went to the mall. I thought I was able to go be out of the house because after the we say stay home for 6 weeks. So I hated being at home. I was I wanted to get out the house. So I went to the mall, and my ex-husband bought me a double stroller because I had two kids. But my daughter got out the stroller and she was under the clothes where they had a metal thing. And I was like, Veronica, and I was scared. I was like, man, I put it back in the double stroller and buckled her in. Talking about you ain't getting out because you don't know how to behave yourself. But yeah, that's scary. And the damn raging waters. We went to the water park and I couldn't find my son. I didn't go to the water park for almost years after that. That was good.
so let's talk. Let's talk. We're gonna drop another clip. Let's talk about it.
Here are 7 signs that you experienced emotional neglect in childhood. 1. Being a caretaker, because in childhood you probably learned that your emotions don't matter, but everyone else's does. Number 2. Being an overachiever or a perfectionist, because in childhood you learned that validation equals love when you did something good. Number 3. Difficulty expressing your emotions, because in childhood you weren't given the opportunity to practice. Which leads to number 4, pushing people away or isolating when you have uncomfortable emotions. And number 5, lashing out or snapping because you don't know how to regulate your emotions. Number 6, neglecting your own self-needs or boundaries because neglect in childhood taught you that your needs and boundaries don't matter. And number 7, being a mediator or fixing other people's issues or problems because you were taught to believe that yours don't matter.
All right. For the record, I want to send a special shout out to Jessica, aka Jessica on the block or on the block with Jessica. That's on the block with Jen's little sister. So y'all got to meet her for the first time. Yeah, Jen, if you see this, I know you're gonna send shots at me, but I don't know why. She kind of favor you a little bit. That's the white Jen. But anyway, what do y'all think about that?
I thought she was right on money. I mean, that's true. Sometimes you don't know how to control your emotions when it comes to kids and things. Do I lash out? Sometimes I do. I didn't say I was perfect.
Mm. Okay, I think we might have struck a chord. Hold on. Let me see if we get this visual up. We good. We focus. I think we might have struck a chord with you, so we ain't gonna let you slide with this one. Come on, give us some more, yo. Season the soup, please.
Do I lash out? Sometimes I do. Sometimes I make the attention tantrum. Um, yeah, I do. You know, especially when my daughter was like, man, she was like, I don't know, she was the hardest child I ever had, and she was just giving me hell. I was like, I would ask my mom, what did I do so bad? Because I was like the one who got good grades. I was the one who did pretty much everything she asked me to. But my daughter was giving me the hell. She was just giving me, the senior year was the most stressful year. The teacher was calling me. I was like, this is that bullshit. When she graduated, crossed that line, I was crying. I was crying because I was like, I feel like I graduated. Me and Erica feel like we was crying because we graduated. Every day I would go to work, teacher call, Miss Lynch, she ain't gonna graduate. Miss Lynch, she ain't gonna graduate. I was like, this teacher was calling me every day. And I was like, Veronica, one day I was like, if you just graduate, I'll give you $2,000. Just do it, please.
What?
I was like, just graduate, please. Please. I'm just tired of the teacher calling my phone. I'm at work. I was like, I'm just asking, just graduate.
Did you pay up? Nah, don't get quiet now.
Did I pay up? She graduated, but I gave her something. I gave her some money. I did. But I was just saying, please just
She gave her
graduate.
$60 in a Happy Meal.
I gave $60. But I was like, just please graduate, please. Because she was driving me crazy. She was the hardest child. She was one day she ran away from home. Me and her got into it, and she ran away from home. She spent the night at her girlfriend's house. She didn't come home. She was just I don't know. I think she was trying to torture me. And my son, he was much easier. But she was just then I sent her to her dad's for a couple years. I was like, this is a lot for me.
So
check.
Go ahead, Vic. Cook.
So the reason when we was talking about the child in the vehicle that I said that I would confront them and give them an option is because yes, I wouldn't necessarily like to. I involve the police last. That's the last resort. It's like pulling your gun on someone. You don't know necessarily how it's gonna go once you do it. So I would definitely give that leeway just to close out on that point. But I got stories on top of stories on top of stories. And one of the reasons why I took my time in becoming a parent, aside from, life just choosing for me in certain scenarios, I wanted to make sure that I was ready and I had a proper foundation so that it wouldn't be two parents out here still trying to figure it out while the kid was subject to whatever the world was at the time and having to be so involved. I wanted to isolate them to some degree. And I was kind of listening to what a couple of stories Derek's telling in the chat about, kids being ready to or being trained to go out into the world and fend for themselves. But I just happen to believe that, before you can test someone, you have to train someone. And if they're not fully trained, I think it's your duty to ensure that your simulations are done inside of a controlled environment. So it is very important that, I mean, we were always the kids that couldn't go past the stop sign. You know what I mean? Our friends, we ride our bikes to this certain point, and then we'd have to wait for the guys to come back around the block and pick up where they left off, and it was always lame. And we was like, y'all the ones that can't go nowhere. And, my other brother, he would buck when my mama ain't home and shit like this, you know what I'm saying? But she kept this little protective veil over us. And, I thank her for that, because there's a lot of people who I grew up with who ain't here today on account of some of the shit that they got into. But nevertheless, the story I wanted to tell is this. So I met this beautiful girl. I'm talking about beautiful girl. And I'm like, beautiful smile, real laid back, calm demeanor. All this shit the manosphere talk about, she had that shit. I'm like, why is this girl single? Okay, she got children. Maybe that's the reason. Okay, listen. If she like that, I can deal with it, right? So she had this little get together. She's just like a neighbor, you know. So we get over there. I know a lot of people in the neighborhood. We over here, and her father, her father was there, and you know, a lot of times he tend to the children. You know, when she doing her thing, whatever, he helps her out. So we're sitting there, and the kids, they're you know 2 years old, 3 years old, and they keep coming in their little diapers, coming back and forth, and she trying to like okay, like corral them and whatnot, and you could tell she's getting annoyed that she can't get them to stay put or lay down or whatever's going on. So I remember her dad saying, "Oh, just put a little something. Go and put it. Go and fix him a bottle." So I'm thinking like milk. Now I remember as a child, you know, my people country, what I mean. They might, a baby crying, put a little something on the nipple or whatever, you know what I'm saying. As far as liquor or something like that, and whatever it is supposed to settle the child or whatever the fuck. I'm not. It's not. That's not a new concept to me, but she poured like liquor in the bottle, right? Like like a few shots in that motherfucker and gave the damn baby the bottle, right? And I'm like, yo, is anybody else seeing this shit? I'm like, yo. And then now I got the side eye, you feel me? Because you know how I feel about children. So I'm like, okay, this ain't my business necessarily. I'm not sure how involved I want to be inside of this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Then she proceeded to take the little girl and she took the weed, right? I'm gonna just say what it is. She took the weed. I'm not gonna say her name, okay? But she took the weed. In the same way you would blow someone a shotgun, a grown adult, she blew this child a shotgun. And I couldn't take it no more. And I looked at all the people in the room and I looked them in their face. I said, y'all ain't gonna do shit. I got to go. So y'all ain't shit. And she ain't shit either. And I walked out the fucking door, left the door wide open.
Mm.
And it took a lot for me to not call the child protective
I know
services and
about
so on
that
and so
story.
forth.
I know about that story. It was a real
Tell,
one
tell me,
too.
tell me, because what
He's
is
giving you. He's giving y'all the gentle Vic. He's giving y'all the gentle Vic. Because I know when I got the story, it was not as gentle as y'all heard it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I felt comfortable enough in terms of what took place for me to feel comfortable with his movement. You know what I mean? He moves a little more graceful than I do. But yeah, it was
but
crazy.
yeah, I mean that's the nice version of the story. But at the end of the day, we talking about a village and people stepping in to say what's right or wrong. You, now you're talking about other people's opinion on your parenting, differences of opinion on what's too far, what's too much, what customs are. If someone seen you today with your child on his knees in rice or on ice melting salt, you know what I'm saying? They'll call the people on you more than likely. So you know what I'm saying? Where's the line? Where do we say I gotta step in? I gotta say something. I gotta call the peoples.
Mm. 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 Wow. Hard.
Speak on it, Andrea.
Woo. That is yes, I'm a mandated reporter. Yes, I am a mandated reporter. Yes, I am. But I really don't like to call CPS on somebody. I really don't. Unless it's the last resort. Unless I really have to.
But it would, if it was
Even
necessary, it would become a part of
yes,
your
even
movement if it was
yeah,
necessary.
definitely. Even if I tried to say something to the parent and say, hey, this is not okay. Um, sometimes you got to make that call. Sometimes you just got to make it. It's something that I don't like to do, but sometimes you just got to make it. I always say I don't think everybody's got the capability to be a parent. It's just sometimes I don't think some people just need to be no parents. Just need to be honest and telling the truth.
So I'm gonna throw, and I agree with you. I'm gonna throw my bold statement in there
Mhm.
just to kind of add a little texture to what you're saying.
Mhm.
I understand that our culture, and I'm gonna keep coming back to
Mhm.
our culture
Mhm.
and the social mores and the social norms, no snitching, mind your own motherfucking business, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
If you feel that you are a person that's not about calling the authorities, calling the ops, calling the man, calling the cops, 911, 511, 311, non-emergency, if you're not about doing any of those things, but you feel you got a heart, get your punk ass up and do something yourself to protect those children. Get your punk ass up to do something to protect those children. If something such as hitting three numbers and speaking some words is too much for you to do. If you choose, and I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna jump out the window with this one. If you choose to watch it, see it, know what's going on, hear it on the other side of the wall in the apartment next door, and you purposely choose not to do anything to get yourself involved, you ain't nothing. And within my heart and within my mind, you are inconsequential, and you deserve zero respect. And I couldn't even be the type of person to wish that on you or your children. But you ain't shit if you know something's going on, but you choose to latch on to some stupid social mores
Yeah.
that prevent us from holding ourselves as a people accountable. Then you ain't shit. And that's the way that I feel.
Well, some of these parents get bold because their kids in foster care and get the acting a damn fool and feel like you should. One parent got mad at me because I'm not buying no Jordans. She called CPS on me. Some of these parents, I'm like, did you need any kids?
Yeah, that
That irks my nerves. I can't
some of
stand
those
people.
yeah, some of those are extremes though. I believe some of those extremes. I'm talking about you being able to see, understand abuse taking place, abuse and or neglect taking place, and you choose to say nothing because you feel it's not your business. Those children that we raise within our homes go out into indirect community, which means what we teach them, what we instill in their hearts and minds, bodies and soul, is what they take with them when they're around other people's children. And
Mhm.
by proxy, the children of the people that live near us are the same ones that will take that knowledge, the blessings, the grace, as well as the abuse into a circle with our children within the community. So I believe that if you see something, say something or do something. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. I'm sick and tired of seeing these stories where people knew this kid was being abused. Where
Mhm.
the kid is 15 years old and he's the height and weight of a 6-year-old, and everybody knew, everybody knew, everybody knew. The press
Yeah.
came around, they all said, yeah, we noticed something was up. They wanted to be the ones with the exclusive, but they ain't do shit. We are members of our community. We That's just me though. What y'all think about that?
Yeah,
I agree.
I definitely agree.
We fall back too much, you know.
Too
You know,
much.
in the black community, they always say, "Don't be snitching, don't be calling the white man, don't be calling popos on nobody."
If
Yeah.
you
But
if you
but
if
at
you ain't finna call the man,
Mm-hmm.
then be the man. We talk about not
right.
calling the men into our hood, then let's hold the hood accountable. If you don't want to call the man, then be the motherfucking man.
But then you get this pushback, chef. You
Yeah.
got your own motherfucking family. You better worry about yours. Da 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 da. Da. You can't risk it. What if somebody do something to you, and then you out here goddamn dead because you can't tend to your family because you fucked up because you over here trying to mind somebody else's business. That's the story you gonna get from your
Uh-huh.
old lady or whoever the fuck when you try to intervene.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, though,
Mm-hmm.
when we talk about children, the children that we allow to be harmed are the ones that will carry that harm. They will be harbingers of the same fate.
Mm.
They will be harbingers of the same fate that we wish for our children to never see. But if noxious, watch this. If we allow our neighbors directly across the hall, or the ones who share a wall with us,
Mm-hmm.
if we allow our neighbors to run a meth lab right next door, those poisonous, noxious, toxic fumes can come through the sockets where you plug your shit into. They can seep into your home and thus poison your family. You gonna mind your business then? It's the
Mm.
same shit.
No, no,
It's
I'm
the
not.
same shit. It's a poison. Us allowing a particular poison. If we see a child that's harmed around us, that is a poison, because our children will see it, and our children will see that we allowed to accept it, and our children will accept it when they see it or when they may be confronted with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a poison. And what you permit, what you permit, and this is what I say to the managers that, you know, that that report to me. What you permit is what you promote. The shit you let slide is the shit a child will believe is okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What you permit is what you promote. What y'all think?
Yeah,
That's exactly right.
yeah, that's right.
And that's why I added the detail in the story that her father was very much so present. He was a part of that coaching process. He was giving her what do you call it, cues of acceptance to say that what she was
Mm-hmm.
doing is okay. You know what I'm saying? Long as Pops ain't got no problem with it, she think that she doing a good job. This is what parenting supposed to be. Probably had liquor in her bottle. You
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? So she don't see no issue. She's more confused about why I'm walking out and making a fuss on the way out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So when the things that were done to you, you tend to pay it forward, no matter they good or bad. I'm gonna tell you one more short story. So I had a partner. He had a roommate. Roommate, I do music. Dude was ill with the beats, ill with it. So I mean, he was just a part of the little network. Everybody loved him. I mean, like you wouldn't think nothing of him, like other than like just quotes.
Hey y'all, somebody making booty call her Andrea. It's the dress, y'all. It's the dress.
Listen,
Like I
you
told you,
gotta wait till
she
11 o'clock. Andrea will
it,
not be available. Okay,
she
to take
belongs
any
to
booty
us right
calls.
now.
Okay.
All right, y'all. You know what I mean? And
And
damn,
so,
yo, y'all dudes, man. Leave her alone.
okay,
She hear
blowing that
that.
shit up. So at the end of the day, right? My partner is like, yo, like he got him on at a job where he worked at. So they work different shifts. So one of these days they shifts didn't line up. So he like, hey man, let me see that beat you was telling me about. I want to work on it while you at work. So he like, yeah. He goes in the dual computer looking for the beat. Well, you know, I don't know, you know, you can say it was cool or it wasn't, but either way, he winds up in a folder he don't belong in.
No.
So he just doing typical nigga shit. Like, let me see what kind of skin flicks this dude is into, right? You know? So he's looking through the skin flicks and he sees something that don't belong. One of these things is not like the other. And it leads him into this rabbit hole because he saw something that has something to do with him and his personal business. Like, yo, what you got my family shit on here? What are you doing? So now he's really doing detective work. And at the end of the day, finds out this dude got archives of 2 years. I don't even know where you find this shit. You got to go to the deep web to find this shit. You know what I mean? That shit that make your stomach turn and make you think the world ain't what it really is. And he got gourds and gourds of this shit. But he lived with him. They just had a baby. Baby not even 1 year old. My partner. He done left the baby with this dude before, like, yo, you know, you can look out for the baby. You know what I'm saying? While we go to the store, same game. So in their head, have you done something to our child? Blah, blah, blah. He has this big intervention, you know. I was supposed to be there, but you know, I wasn't available that day. He gets it on tape. That's the only reason I knew it went like it went. And the whole idea, dude, he's sitting there. You can see him on camera. He chain smoking. That motherfucker might have smoked 10 cigarettes back to back while he getting called out. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it was like, beat his ass. That don't change nothing. Put him in jail. You could do that. But at the end of the day, you know what he did? He called his mother. Said, do you know what your child is? Do you know what he's doing? Do you know what he's done? And you know what the response he got? It was crazier than what actually had happened in the previous. She told a story about the things that his uncle had done to him and the things that had been done to his uncle, which created the monster who his uncle was. And this is a whole family of fucked up individuals passing trauma on from generation to generation. So what I'm speaking on is the fact that at some point you can't sit that shit out. You can't overlook it. You can't be like, damn, this nigga into some weird ass shit. Let me get what I came for and get out of here. No, you gotta call that motherfucker out. You can't allow it to persist. You can't just push it off of your doorstep onto someone else's. Gotta address it.
You know, I'm on call. I'm a social worker. I got my social worker, so I don't the call. I'm sorry, it wasn't no man calling me. Y'all always think a man's calling me. Okay, that's not true. Social worker.
Yeah.
I always think a man calling me.
Hey,
okay.
No, don't worry. We got you, Andrea. Hey, y'all. Don't worry. It was Jake from State Farm. It was Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing? hey, you got that low cut thing on. I like. You know it.
Another fucking Jake from State Farm, man. Yeah. Listen, make sure them niggas know this ain't no hotel. You working, you on shift right now. You know what I mean?
don't think a man is always calling me. I have other people call my phone and have to get in touch with me. Okay.
Put a one in the chat, y'all, if you think Andre is lying.
I'm not lying.
Chick is lying.
Why you always lying? But
You ain't got a lot of kicking, Andre.
right.
I am not lying to you. Whatever.
But yo, no, let's show some love. We got some folks that popped in while we were running our jibs. I know my cousin Evans knocked out already. He on, he eats soup at 3:30. Get the old folks special. He must be knocked out because he ain't talking. Jay Takashi in the house. My guy was good. Mr. Talilo, always. Derek, our generation was definitely most resilient and independent. We had to rely on ourselves. It no longer applies to the new generation because they got all kind of backup. Yes. I want to bring that up real quick because Derek brought up about Skenazi, the lady that let her son ride the train at 9. I was riding the bus when I was 8 years old. I was going from Avenue A and Remsen in Brooklyn. If y'all know where that is, I used to ride the 17 bus, the B17, to elementary school. It was a school called Holy Family. It was on Flatlands Avenue, and that was one of the stops on the B17 bus. And I was doing that when I was 8 years old. 8 years old, so you're talking about 1980, right? 80, 81. When I was doing it, my aunt and the mom of one of my schoolmates, they would go to the bus stop. My mom too would go ride on the bus the first few times the first week, and then after that, we did it together. We rode together. So I recognize that when I went to high school. If anybody knows about Brooklyn, the first stop on the number 4 train is Utica Avenue. I would take a bus all the way from Avenue J, about 45 minutes to the train station, Utica Avenue, and ride about an hour and 45 minutes on that train all the way up to the Bronx, to Fordham Avenue, or sometimes Masholu Parkway, which is the last stop. It used to take me almost 3 hours, 2.5 to 3 hours to get to school and back. And I was young and I was in New York. The newer generation is different. I hold blame on 2 pieces though. Not just us as parents wanting or understanding that we wanted to protect our kids and shield them from different things. Sometimes the shelter that we provide our children, it takes away a certain amount of stimulus that they're supposed to receive as children. The stimulus that we received within our generation, Gen X, right? That was us. I'm Gen X. The stimulus we received, some of us, especially depending on where we came from, some of us wanted to keep that stimulus away from our children. I've been shot, I've been stabbed, I've gone through a lot. I've seen a lot. I've seen dead bodies. I've seen all kinds of stuff growing up. So understanding that I wanted to raise my child without having to see those same things that I had seen, that plays a part in it. But by the same token, the benefits that I gave of safety also limited the stimulus and understanding that they were supposed to receive. Look at the movie 300. They send their sons out into the wilderness, and the ones that come back with a slaughtered animal on their back is the ones that were fit to move forward. I don't believe that our Gen X generation did that. But y'all would care to disagree if you want.
I think we're being too soft on them.
Say it again.
I think we've been too soft. We thought our parents were so hard on us. We didn't want to give them the same toughness. If they're a little lazy and a little soft, like the toughness, they don't. I don't think they're resilient as what we were. in a sense. Like in a sense, they're not resilient. They're not go getters. You gotta almost prep them. You gotta coach them. We didn't need no prepping and coaching. It was just it is what it is.
Okay, so let's talk about this for a second because, quite honestly, you ain't that much younger than me, man. Just saying. All right,
You turn it big, not me. I'm still young.
your punk ass finna turn 48.
Okay.
Now all of a sudden you splitting hairs and shit, right? All right. Look at this skin. Look at this. Yo, look at this. 50, yo. I'm gonna be doing.
Put that,
But
put
anyway,
Like
and I
ass
got the
niggas
hard
up here.
Millie Rock. You know what I mean? Woo! Get out of here, yo. Y'all ain't ready.
Hey,
You know what I mean? My homeboy say, yo, when he see me on the grill, he like, yo, we ain't gonna call you Salt Bay, my nigga. We gonna call you Old Bay. And what I said was, man, fuck you. Nigga. Get out of here, yo. but anyway, you ain't that far off from me. So you have to speak to what we did. Because remember, we talking Gen X. So you have to speak to what we did, right? You and I have the benefit of being able to be those parents that we talking about.
Yes, I've been soft. Yes, I've been soft. Yes, I let them. Yes, I wasn't hard on them as I should have been. Yes, I should have made them get jobs at 16, so they would learn the value of working and have a better work ethic. Yes, you know. Even my daughter, I be like, I mean, she's good at finding jobs, but that I'm like, damn. She be like, I don't like this job. I just quit. I'm like, huh? Where you do that at? You quit like it was some jobs I didn't like, but I had two kids behind me, so I can't just quit a job because I don't like my supervisor. I can't stand him. He get on my nerves, or he just talking mess. Like you just can't. Or we gonna be homeless. She be like, I don't like the supervisor. He yelled at me. I quit. Like, huh?
How did you react though? Because I got my own story to give too. You know what I mean?
I react. I was like, Monica, like, did I have some bad supervisors? Yes, I did. Did I feel like sometimes I had to take their abuse out? Yes, I did. But my mom was like, it's gonna make you a better worker. It's gonna make you a better person and when you get into when you get into adulthood. But my daughter, she was like, they yelling at me. I don't like the way they're talking to me. She said, I quit. I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah. And then I was like, Mom, I did want to quit my first job. My supervisor rude to me. And I told my mom. And my mom was like, oh, you ain't quitting? We need that money. You want to buy your stuff for school. You want to buy the new stuff you need. Your brothers them need some stuff. So I didn't quit my job. My daughter and my son be like, oh, they talking to me crazy. We got to quit. I was like, so you don't know what it is to not get the things. I gave y'all stuff too freely. I didn't get the things, so I feel like I had to keep my job to get the things that I wanted. That my daddy said he wasn't buying. Period.
So I feel you. You know, I think about. I had told a story on the channel a while back. I was going to a military school. It was called St. Patrick's. It was in Harrington, New York. And going to that school, you know, there was not a lot of us brothers there. And there was, you know, we would go home every other weekend, but it was a boarding school, military joint. And there was this kid, you know, he said some bullshit to me. He had said some bullshit to me, you know, when we were on the line. And my mom, beautiful woman, and she had this little mole, and it was a hairy mole that she had on the side of her face. And he said something about my mom's hairy mole. You know what I mean? And then I told him that his mom looked like Sister Demetria. The school was run by Catholic nuns.
Oh, okay.
And Sister Demetria was like 450-pound Italian lady that had like a fucking goatee. You know what I mean? And his mom was a heavy-set Irish lady. And I said that. I looked to the left, Next thing you know, I just saw stars. He took his rifle and hit me with the butt of his rifle in my eye, and I was knocked out. Came to, that was that. My eye was closed shut for a few days. All I know is that when I got home, my grandmother said, my pops is out front. So I'm like, oh, snap. Mind you, my pop didn't live with me. Him and my mom were divorced. She said my pop was out front. Went downstairs and I seen him. I'm happy to see my dad. And he just grabbed me by my shirt. He was like, you motherfucker. If I ever fucking hear that you let some fucking white boy whoop your ass, I'm going to come and fuck you up myself. Real talk. I didn't understand what the hell was going on. I was happy to see my pops. And he told me somebody hit me with the butt of a fucking rifle in my face. Back then we had 22 LR, 22 long rifles that we used. And it was military school. And we used them for drill. Hit me with the butt in my face. And I'm thinking my dad wants to come to see how I'm doing. And he literally told me that if I let that happen again, that he was going to come and fuck me up himself. That was one of the most hurtful situations of my life, right? I'm not even playing with it. So let's talk about how hurt people and some of the things we carry forward, right? Now I'm being real about this. Fast forward, my son, he's 9 years old. He was pretty decent playing basketball. He lived with his mom and his sisters, you know what I'm saying? And then sister hit me up. And she was like, yo, what's up? She was like, your son, he's upset. I said, what happened? She was like, she told me he was at the ball court and then his kid out there and he posted shorty up and broke the kid ankles pretty much that he was playing with, who was posting them up. He broke his ankles with the crossover. And then the kid talked shit. My son said something back. And then the kid just started hitting him with a flurry of punches. When I talked to him, it was like, what's up? Because she said that. I said, where is he? She said, he's in the room. He's just doing a bunch of push-ups. I said, huh? She's like, yeah, he's doing a bunch of push-ups. You know what I mean? He's scared to talk to you. I talked to him. And then what happened? And he just said, it turned out the kid was in boxing. The kid that swung on him was in boxing for a long period of time at that point. And he just said, I don't know. It's just he was hitting me punches so fast everywhere. It was just so fast. What did I do? Almost the same thing that my pops did. It's time for Andre to take her medicine, y'all. But anyway, I did exactly what my pops did. Impressed him that he needed to make sure he handles himself. And I had to look back at it. And I felt like, damn, that was fucked up.
But how did that make you feel?
Fucked up. But life is fucked up.
True.
And don't nobody give a damn about us. You can be the best nerd in the world. You can know how to split an atom using a fucking toothpick and tweezers, okay? But if you can't defend your family, if you can't defend your woman, if you move in a way where it looks like you don't have heart, you ain't gonna have heart. You get what I'm saying? There's gangster nerds out there. They may not utilize their fists, but they utilize their voice within that dynamic and will buck against the status quo and buck against the system within their own fighting style. But if you don't push that agenda of being able to speak up and say what's necessary to be said, or speak your voice or defend yourself or defend those you love, you're gonna be spending the rest of your motherfucking life laying down. And laying down, being a coward and not being able to speak for yourself, especially being a healthy person, that's like a death by a million paper cuts, because you're gonna live that existence taking L's and giving yourself excuses for doing so. What y'all think?
I'd rather die a soldier than nigga live a coward.
Yeah.
Mm.
I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. You know.
But I mean,
Yeah,
as far as you giving it up the same way it was given to you, I mean, I think some of those lessons have to be transferred, and it kind of goes into like the violence episode that we spoke on in the fatherhood sip. And you have to teach a child how to see themselves. You know, when I was younger, I was a lot more. You know, I saw the world with rose-colored glasses. You know, I felt like I was meant to do something important, something special. I still had the same fire and everything like that, but I wasn't as prone to violence. That was taught to me. That was added. You know what I mean? I had to learn how to eventually pull back off of that because I went too far in the other direction. But you know, initially, I felt like my level of toughness was based on the amount of abuse that I could take without showing pain or fear. You know what I mean? Had this a motherfucker half my size. He used to hit me in the back every day. Pow! That don't hurt. That don't hurt. You hit like a bitch. That was my version of toughness. Is just to take it. You know what I'm saying? Till my daddy seen it. He said, "Boy, what the fuck? Boy, if you don't fuck him up, I'm gonna fuck you up." Just like an old cliche movie, but very much so my real life. You know what I mean? And once I gave him that word that I didn't even know I had in me, you know, it took a motherfucker running me over with my own bicycle to get me to have the nuts to do it. But once I showed him that I was with it, you know what I'm saying? He never came back down that same road. And once I learned the lesson that all I had to do is give just enough pushback and that I could command my respect, that was a lesson that was invaluable to me that has served me well ever since, you know.
Okay. So I kind of got in the pocket. You know, I kind of got in the pocket in terms of talking about my situation with my pops and what took place and how I feel that I transferred that onto my son. I was actually supposed to play a clip for y'all, right? So I gave my piece. So I'm gonna give you. This was supposed to go before my piece. Pardon me.
What's the most fucked up thing that your parents ever did to you and you still remember to this day and are still...
So when I was about 8 or 9 years old, my mom and my stepdad divorced, and my mom wanted to live with her new boyfriend. Unfortunately, her new boyfriend didn't want me or anything to do with me. So my mom got an apartment across the street from the elementary school, which she enrolled me in. And then she would leave me in the apartment about 5 to 6 days a week. What she would do is she would cook food and put it in the freezer that's supposed to last me for a good 5 to 6 days. I was about 8 or 9 years old, and she did this until I was about 11 or 12 years old. And I just remember going to school by myself, very, very young, coming home by myself, and I was told never to open the door for anybody, never to answer the door, and always pretend that no one is home when there's someone outside so that she doesn't get in trouble. Yeah.
Without saying any, without being weird, she has some great fucking teeth, by the way. Them shit's got to be veneers. But yo,
that's what you got out of that.
She was. We know she was We know it wasn't just some frozen meal. She was brushing them motherfucking teeth, yo. God
I'm not
damn.
gonna lie, yo. I couldn't even see her. Like I'm a connoisseur. I'm an artist, so I'm a connoisseur of like beautiful things. So I look at women with a different eye, but I couldn't even see
Sound
her.
like some serial
I
killer
saw I
shit.
saw the, I saw the I saw the child. No, real shit. I saw the child version of her that she was describing, the 8 or 9
Okay.
year old going through that. And that's a special
That's
kind of fucked up. Listen, let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something, bro. Man, I'm not even gonna tell that story. It's too much for TV. But
that's I,
I've seen parents choose men over their children
yeah.
many times,
Hmm.
and that's different.
Hmm.
To see a mother turn her back on her own child on account of a man. I'm talking about call the people level. Turn your back.
I think sometimes they give up. That's just me, my own personal opinion. I think sometimes they just give up. Just tired.
They give up.
Yes, they give up. Now I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I just feel like sometimes they just give up.
I don't even align with having the ability, pardon this lighting. I don't even align with having the ability to give up once you take that choice of
Hmm.
allowing that pregnancy to take place. Give up is not a part of it's not a part of the vernacular.
Well, it might not be a
When you
part.
make that choice, when
Hmm.
you make that choice to allow,
Hmm.
because you have choice, right?
Yes.
So I believe that when you make that choice and you allow that life to become a full-fledged life, you relinquish certain options.
Mm.
You don't have that choice anymore. You chose. So no, no, you have to
Yeah.
deal with that choice. Those are the consequences of that choice. But not only consequences as if it's a negative thing, that is the framework of thinking that you have to have now. You don't have the same subset of options that the other folks do. You relinquish that. That's what parenthood is.
That's true, but at the same time is I think sometimes they don't there's no rule book, so they like sometimes people just give up and they don't feel like doing it anymore, and nobody's gonna make them hold them accountable, and they just feel like they don't feel like doing it anymore. I'm not saying I mean that's not something I wouldn't do, but it's not necessarily other people do that, because then if that was the case, I wouldn't have my adopted kids. I think some people just decide to just give up.
So, according to you, what I'm
Hmm.
saying is correct. There's certain things that are not even options when it comes to you.
Yeah, it's
There's
not an option. It's not an option for me. But see, but that's because what's best for me might be best for somebody else. What's best for a single mom? She was like, this shit is hard. I've been working out here, three jobs, these kids, and this why I think sometimes why um women choose a man over their kids. They just said this shit is hard. I don't want to do this no more. And what I know is what I know I can tolerate and what I can strengthen, what I can do don't mean everybody else can do it.
right. But you see me? The
Mhm.
way that I feel is this. When they
Mhm.
say, I don't want to do this no more. Excuse me. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to. No, no, motherfucker. You got jumped into this gang. You in the gang now. You in the Gambino family now. You red,
Now you can't
blue,
leave.
UG. You ain't never leaving. Motherfucker, you can't break up with me. You fuck with me, you stuck with me. That's it. Ain't no
Mm-hmm.
outs. You
Mhm.
chose that. So that's your job. Whether you like it, you don't, you ain't think about it before, you got a new sense of morality, blah, blah, blah.
Well, if
You
that
do
was
your job. You ain't quitting us. You
If
fuck
that
with
was
me, you fuck with me, you stuck with me. That's what parenthood is. You
well, then
chose to create that life. That life is more important than you now. Cause you right now, that life is the future. Nope.
well,
Do
if
your
that was,
job.
if people feel like you, then we'll have more people stepping up, being more responsibility. And until people start feeling like that shit was okay, then won't be no more foster care. Then it won't be no more kids in the system. Then when people start stepping up and saying they ain't gonna jump out of the game no more. They don't want to do it no more. Okay.
Yes, and then it would give Andrea Lynch a damn break. It would give Andrea Lynch a break because it seemed like she adopted 8 kids a week, yo. You get what I'm saying? And she need a break. If y'all see her IG, do you see them corns on her feet? She need a break, yo. No, I'm joking, yo. What I'm saying, man, listen, I get where you coming from. And
Yeah.
this is your arena
Yeah.
for you to be able to talk this shit because you literally do what other parents don't. And it'd be 3, 4 other parents don't, and you're taking on the responsibility of other parents that don't. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
and if the
can you tell
community,
them the runaway story? Because I want to say this. I want to say this. I thought about this one, right?
Mhm.
And you know I would never put you in a crazy place, right?
Yes.
This fits into the conversation. Andrea, y'all, she is a foster mom. She takes care of foster children, but she ain't the regular foster moms that the ones that would just come take the kid for a month, 2, 3 months, and then whatever, get money from the state and then kick them out and blah, blah, blah. Andrea brings the kids in and she also studies the children, pays attention to how they connect with the other children. And when she's comfortable, Andrea adopts the children. If any of you guys understand foster care, temporary foster care, and then understand adoption, Andrea adopts these children as her own. Right? So now,
Mhm.
the children that people gave up and were not responsible enough to retain, she takes them and takes them over to the point where they are her children going forward. She can have an opinion on this shit. This is her arena. You get what I'm saying? This is her topic. She can have an opinion on this shit. I just wish that more people had that same opinion. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I do. I do think people should you know take care of their kids, take responsibility. So I mean, it takes a community, and it's something that I really learned. I'm not saying my dad, and my mom was the they was good parents. They was good parents to me, but it was some tools they should have been they could have learned, but they didn't, and it's okay because I think sometimes I feel like this. Sometimes you're gonna have battle wounds. You know, it depends on how bad the battle wounds are. And growing up, you're gonna have battle wounds. Now, my mom was a stay-home mom, and and she had a home daycare at home, and my dad worked out the home. So did I spend a lot of time with my mom, and I did spend time with my dad too. And so we connected in a different level and in different ways. And that's how I learned basketball and that stuff with my dad and my brothers. But I do think having a two-parent home in the home and having um, a dad that you see go to work every day and the work ethic that he had, that just showed that how the family was important to us, and not like this is why when I have a conversation with my dad, because he's more softer now. He was more harder at the in the beginning before my mom passed away, but my dad's more softer now, so we can have a conversation and stuff. I'm still a rebel too, and he don't like that. Okay, but it's something about the work ethic that he had. But my dad said this to me: he didn't have a father. So if he didn't have a father, how he supposed to be a father if he didn't have nobody to had nobody to teach him? And why he was so hard on us, because he didn't know how to have the conversation with his father because his father wasn't around. He only had his brothers. And so I feel like my dad, even though he has 7 kids, they all had different personalities. And at the same time, he was trying to control. And like I told my dad, you cannot control grown people. You can talk to them, you can give them advice, you can help them and help them navigate. But control, he didn't like the reins that he was losing control. But I'm saying I don't need to control. I need advice from you. I need a guidance from you because you are a parent now and you don't raise 7 kids. But you know, so the story about my kids running away. Okay, so I got
Responsibility. There was a reason that I was bringing up that piece about you and the foster care, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we talk about our responsibility, and I brought up the whole situation of, the people that are not able to take care of their children.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all ever see those people, the ones that don't take care of their children, the ones that neglect their children, but they put themselves in a place where they want to fight with the people that are taking care of their children? And they'd be like, that's my kids. That's my kids. Don't worry about that. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I want to allow Andrea to tell a story, right?
Mm-hmm.
About the last young child that, she accepted in foster care. Bless you, baby. My daughter sneezed. That that took into foster care, and his mom.
Mm. Yes. So
Yeah, tell them that, please. Let them know and be detailed so they understand, so that I can address something when you get through with the story.
okay, so I haven't. Well, I wasn't doing foster care at the beginning. I'm dating it in 6 months, so I took a break because I needed a break, please, because I wanted to spend time with my adopted kids. Because I'm always having kids. I wanted us to just be us three, just us three. So I adopted him, but it always have not been us, just us three, us two. So I took a break, and I just wanted us two to bond and just hang out and just do mom, kid, us two. But I decided to do foster care again. So I took a child in, and he come from the Bay Area. So I took him in. I think he only been in my house probably 2 weeks. But what I didn't know was he had family down the street from my house. They normally don't put kids in the same area where the family is because they tend to leave your house or run away to the family members. So I think I did a live that night. I think I did a live. I believe I did a live that night. And I go to the bathroom. I come back. The only person that's in the house is my son, my adopted son. I don't see my foster son or my adopted daughter. And I'm thinking, okay, they must be in a room or something. I'm looking in all the rooms. I'm looking everywhere. I don't see them. So I call 911 and tell them my kids ran away. And we searched for them all night. And we called the police. They all came out here. The what was it called? The investigating. What do you call that unit? The unit. What unit is that called? I forgot the unit. But he do details and he just search and stuff like that. But they sent me out there. We went. They went to. I knocked on doors. I knocked on. We went everywhere looking for them. I couldn't find them, and I was scared. I almost had panic attack. Okay, the fire department man said, "Let me take your blood pressure." And plus, I just been at the hospital a month. A month. It was only a month I'd been at the hospital because I had blood clots, 2 in my lung and 2 in my leg and 1 in my lung. But we couldn't find them. I called my family. They all came and helped me look for them, but we didn't find them. And we contacted everybody. My social worker came out here. We didn't find them. 7 o'clock in the morning, the police officer showed up at my door. He let me know it was a mass shooting downtown in Sacramento. I thought, man, I said to man, I thought of my kids because mass shooting. but he said it was all adults. He said it had the kids, but the police officer said, I believe the kids are with somebody. I just didn't know who they was with. So we get a phone call about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and that says, my foster son's mother said that she got the kids, and she gonna bring the kids to what was that, Little Caesar. So the police come. The police shows up with me because I'm already mad. I'm mad at the
Wait,
motherfucker.
so let me just clarify because you kind of glossed over it.
Okay.
What Andrea stated was that the actual blood mother of her adopted child.
No, my foster child. My foster child.
Okay, he was foster at the time.
He still is. He's not
okay.
my foster
So
child.
the blood mother of the foster child, who didn't live too far, she allowed him to come through and didn't say anything to anybody. And didn't say anything to anybody. Had Andrea bugging out, going crazy. And this is the same person.
She had my foster child. She had my adopted daughter too, and that's why I was freaking out. She had my adopted daughter because she had my adopted.
Peace to Donna D. Andrews. Y'all don't know that is one of my original female besties. Literally lived like 3-4 doors down from my crib, yo. She the one that when I'm not at my mama house, she's still there eating food up. All right, peace, Donna. Yeah,
so she had my adopted daughter too. I didn't get the phone call until like 1 o'clock in the afternoon that that they had the kids was okay. My girlfriend, who's a foster mom, was like, Drea, the kids are fine. I believe the kids are fine. It's somebody got them, a family member, somebody got them. They was like, go home, Drea. They was like, I'm like, no, I'm not going home. My sister came over. We walked the streets. We walked until like 3 a.m. And then I finally came here and just laid down for a few minutes. But at 7 o'clock, when my girlfriend showed up at 7 o'clock in the morning, Erica came and we walked the streets again. We went to every gas station, we went to every local it's a local grocery store on the corner. We asked to see the video cameras, everything. And then thank God that my older sister didn't go to the meet my kids or Erica, because they was mad because I'm pretty sure they're ready to fight. And so as a foster mom, when I got my daughter, I was happy. You know, I turned the foster mom back on because I didn't want the mother to be arrested in front of her child. Because that's what I didn't think that would be a good scene. So I said, the cop said, Miss Lynch, she wants to talk to you. I really said, the first thing I said, I ain't got nothing to say to her. But the cop said, Miss Lynch, she still wants to talk to you. So I told the cops, you better stand between us.
So let's pause that. Let's pause that real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Look. Okay. Little man, this is like my nephew right here, yo. I can't even lie, man, because Donna's my sis, for real, for real. Her son Darius graduated today. He got his master's. Send my love to Darius, moms and pops. Yeah, this man,
Peace,
yo, time
Darius.
is flying.
Congratulations,
Peace.
young man.
Darius, my dude. Word up. Yeah, you know, if I got love for you, you know, I'm gonna shout you out. So let me come back to you, Andrea.
Mm-hmm.
Folks, if y'all don't understand, listen to the amount of balance or grace that was shown. It wasn't just about, fuck that bitch. She did this shit, I'm gonna do this. She also thought about the fact that the child that she's going to be help raising would have to see that, and that she would have been the impetus, IMPETUS, Google it, the precipitating factor for this kid seeing his mom, his blood mom that he knows, have to deal with incarceration. And that's what I'm talking about when we speak to the level of care that we give, as well as the levels of neglect. Remember, the show is prepping or preparing / neglecting our kids for adulthood. We tend to forget what's coming down the road and just figure what's within the next 2 or 3 steps, you know.
And at the end of the day, he's already upset. He's already he only been in my house maybe a week. He don't know the rules. He not used to having structure like I did. He not used to doing chores. He not used to doing that. So he just used to pretty much bullying his way out of other homes. He's bullying his way. And the reason that they placed him in my home because my social worker said it's my specialty. These kind of kids is my specialty. Now I know what y'all be saying. I'm bad ones. Yes, they are my specialty. I don't like to do it anymore. I'm getting older. I'm not getting younger. I'm getting older. So I don't really like to do that. But she was like, she kept calling me, and I was like, nah, I'm not feeling that. I ain't willing. That's a lot of work. But she was like, Drea, I know you can do it. Drea, I need you. She was like, man, I promise you. I was like, She was like, she kept calling me for almost 2 weeks because if she called me for 2 weeks, I know she get a phone call from the other foster parent every day. And plus, they were new foster parents. I've been in the business 20 years, so they ain't got the same capabilities as I do. They ain't got the same ins and out as I do, and they don't know how to move and shake like I can with the kid. And she kept calling me. She was like, Drea, you can handle this. I know you're gonna be calling my phone every night. I know you're gonna be bothering me. You're gonna handle all this because you know how to do it. So finally I said, okay, I'll take him. But what I didn't know was he had family in the neighborhood. And normally don't place children in the same neighborhood
Right.
that the foster parent in. So I was blindsided. And don't get me wrong, I gave her a good tongue lashing too, because I don't like to be blindsided by anything. You tell me what the real deal is. I knew he had behavior. I knew all that. But blindsided that he had family in the same hood that I'm living in, I don't appreciate that. Because that poses a risk to me. Because I have had kids that run, okay? But that's why we got extra precaution. We got like fire things on the door, because if somebody open the door, it's like a fire alarm going off. I don't do that no more, because only people living in my house right now was my adopted children. So I don't have to take them extra precautions. I didn't know he was a runner. I didn't know he had family in the neighborhood. So I'm walking in this situation blind, and I wasn't happy with it. And not only I'm blind, he had family in the neighborhood, and now my daughter. Now we have crossed the line. Now it's somebody that I've been taking care of since she was 5 years old. She 9 now. I'm pissed the hell off. But I still had grace and mercy because he was upset, and because he wanted to go back home. So I had grace and mercy because I didn't want to get her arrested right in front of him. I just thought that would be better to students. I can tell this to another day. I can have this conversation when they're back in school. But I did take my kids to the hospital and make sure everything was okay with them, because that's what I will be doing.
Let me send a special shout out. Oh, wow. Let me drop this here. So someone asked, Woolflower1234, they asked, is this a podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or a film? I'm simply unsure. I stated, this is a podcast. Woolflower1234 stated, thank you so much. I'm blind, you see. Yo, peace and love to Woolflower1234.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You stated that you're blind? No, I don't believe I'm blind. I believe when you lack a sense,
Mm-hmm.
just one, each one of the other senses that you have become more acute. So you are not blind in my book. You have a great sense of taste, smell, and your auditory acuity is off the chain, and your sense of touch. So, you know, I don't believe in blind. I believe you have 4 or 5 other superpowers. You feel me? Including the third eye. So thank you for joining. Grab your seat here. All right. I like that. I like that. Welcome, Move Flower 1234. Any other sense of humor? He said, well, my doctors believe in blind. We're gonna leave that one alone, but I appreciate you, family. Yeah. So Let's keep this thing going. Let's keep this thing going. Parents that don't do what they're supposed to do. Trigger alert. Trigger alert, Andrea.
Mm-hmm.
Trigger alert.
Okay.
Not saying parents, but you'll get it.
Mother arrives at Plantation Daycare, finds took-year-old left alone inside.
My child, she's when I came to pick her up and she wasn't here. Yes. So she's inside she's inside the daycare. She just came up to the door.
She's inside by herself?
Yeah, she's crying. She's inside by herself.
Okay, honey. I have an officer on the way there, okay?
Okay.
Okay, just stay near the door. Just keep her near the door.
Okay.
How old is your child?
She's 2. She's only 2.
Okay, he's on the way. He should be there momentarily, all right?
Okay, thank you.
Does she look okay other than being frightened?
She just looks scared and she just cried. She's just staring at me.
Okay, all right. The officer should be there momentarily, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye. I'm coming, baby. Okay? I'm coming.
I'm gonna take this one first. This was a very last minute one, and I don't even know how I found it. For one, the phone call would have been after I put some shit through that window and find myself in there and have my child in my arms.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
The last thing they would have been seeing me was like this. They would have seen me like this. They would have seen me busting that window open, busting that door open. The phone call would have been after I would have had my child within the auspices of my own caress.
Mm-hmm.
And then the people that hold sway over my thoughts and my movements and my friends with the most physical strength would have had to hold me in some undisclosed location so I did not come to physically reprimand responsible staff at that institution or establishment. It was no balance, chef. It would have been animal.
Mm.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get that one. I'm like, who did make sure? And when I worked at a daycare center, I worked at a daycare center. It was on the school campus, but we did double checks. Like I made sure the other girl wanted to make sure there are no kids in there. I don't understand what the they make sure how a little girl get in there locked up. I don't understand. I didn't get that. And I would sue them too. Tell you the truth. You know what talking. Call 911. What her daddy at? I be call my husband, call my brother. Them like, come in, let's come break this window. Cause call 911. Hell no, no. You should have let my baby here by itself. Break a window. Shoot, you could pay for it. But leave my child in here by itself. Yeah, but I didn't get that because we always made sure that I checked everybody, make sure that nothing in there. The room was locked up. My other coworker, because we always left the last 2, and we always made sure no kids. And sometimes we had to stay till like 6:30 because the parents running late, pick up the child. But we've never left a child. I'm confused about that one.
Yeah, man. And I'm just for the record, y'all, just to make sure so you don't think we leaving Vic out. You know what I mean? And you don't think that it's just Andrea and I going back and forth. What it is that Victor, he doesn't have any children yet. He either just has an insane pull-out game or he's shooting puppy water. You know what I mean? But Andrea got questions, she said. So Yo, now you remember puppy water. But anyway, it's jokes, yo.
Yeah.
He's just extra intentional.
Yes.
But yo, you see that story right there? There's been a few cases of that specific thing that's taken place back home in New York where the school buses, right?
Yeah.
Where the school buses will pick up the kids. And there was one of the school buses where it had a sleeping kid in the back, and they took the bus back to the depot, and the kid is in the damn bus. And it was a couple of those things that happened way back where the people that came to clean the buses saw there was a sleeping kid in the back.
I don't understand. I don't understand why you, before you took it back, you go through all the aisles and make sure ain't nobody there. Why ain't nobody? Ain't that's what you do?
You do that at your job. You make sure you dot every T and cross every I every time.
When they tell them somebody damn child, it does.
Hell yeah, especially I work with the Negro.
When I work with kids, we had to we had two people at close at night, and we had to make sure there was no kids. We made sure no one. I don't ever want to be responsible for I lock a child in the child care center. I don't want. No.
But there was hold on, let me do this real quick. I want to put this out here.
And
we get to that point. Hold on 1 second. All right, I'm throwing the link out there. There we go. If you want to join the conversation. So Donna said, I worked for a facility where the kid was on the bus all day, and they tried to tell me not to tell the parents. She said, I fucking told. So let me do this. I'm about to throw one up here for y'all. Bear with me 1 moment, just so we see the type of story that we're discussing with y'all.
A young child supposedly going to school, they end up alone. The bus parked somewhere else. A Newport News woman says it happened to her grandson. Now she has questions about how that possibly could have happened. Tonight News Side's Madison Pierman has this story for us new tonight. Madison?
Anita, she has plenty of questions, and Newport News schools are trying to answer them, but this grandmother says no explanation will fix what's already happened.
Yesterday, around 12, 1 o'clock, two strangers brought my grandson home. And I'm like, why aren't you in school?
It was just a couple hours before that Sherry Robinson saw her 7-year-old grandson, Marcus, get on a bus and head to Newsom Park Elementary. Now, he's back at her front door.
He said when I got off the bus, he said I had to open the door, and I couldn't find my school. He fell asleep on the bus.
The Newport News elementary schooler woke up in the bus barn that's next to the school. Everybody else was gone. Robinson asked school officials, how could this happen?
Said they saw the video, said they saw that the driver never checked the seats, said that she pulled in the parking lot, she parked the bus, said she just got out the bus, and then after a while they saw Marcus get off the bus, said they saw him push the door open and walk off.
From the steps of the bus, Marcus walked more than a quarter of a mile.
He had to walk across the sidewalk, a 4-way intersection, and probably past the railroad tracks.
Thankfully, he was found by Good Samaritans at Old Town Market.
What if someone else had picked him up? People are out here kidnapping kids and doing God knows what to them. What if a train was coming when he was going towards the railroad track?
Robinson says the school is working with her, but she hopes the results bring permanent reassurance.
When we send our children to school, we feel that they're supposed to be safe. And if they can't be safe with the bus driver, what do we do?
We reached out to Newport News Public Schools for some answers. In a statement, a spokeswoman tells me they're investigating and the bus driver involved has been removed from her duties. You can read the school's full statement on wavy.com. In the newsroom, Madison Pierman.
Side note, shout out to her hairstyle. We're gonna call her Negrella DeVille. Yeah, man. But yo, let's talk about it.
There's no There's no investigating. Just fire the bus driver. She wasn't a good bus driver. She didn't pull her car up on her bus in the thing and didn't even check. And little boy had to open the thing himself. No, I'm good. She did be fired. I must to the school too. He had to walk all that miles away over the track. No.
Okay, they fired that one bus driver. They fired that one bus driver, right?
Yes,
and then they're gonna have to replace that bus driver, right? Okay. Guess what's happening, right? Just like they can't find enough people to do the policing in your local area, they can't find enough people to do the teaching or the bus driving or none of the other shit that's low paid that people don't want to do. So guess what's happening? They're having to lower the standards. They're having to say, hey, we'll take men and women. Hey, we'll take people with misdemeanors now. They're bringing the standards down, and you're expecting the same quality, if not greater quality, than when you went to school, and it's not gonna happen.
Let's bring it closer though.
But the point that I'm saying is, that's a deeper policy. Fuck that shit. I don't give a damn what you say, Vic. I love you, but I don't care. Okay, and just love your mom, care. But fuck her. But give her fire her ass, number one, because I don't got time to train you or retrain you, and you got a little scar. No, she fired. And the next time you tell all the bus drivers who's riding for your school, if you gonna go check every seat. Until when everybody get off your bus, you're gonna do 2 checks. One when everybody get off, and nigga make sure when you pull your bus into the bus depot. Okay.
And you make sure you put $1,000 on the bottom bun first. What are we talking about? If you don't pay the people right, they don't give a fuck.
Well, what about the integrity of your damn job? How about that?
So Vic, you go into the overhaul the system conversation. Andrea is speaking to the individual, right? So I will say this. We are human beings. We are not mortals. We are not immortal. We are mortals. We are just mere flesh. And we're highly and heavily flawed. If we understand the essence of the Bible and everything, our flaws, we're allowed to have the flaws and been forgiven for our many flaws because the Son of our Creator sacrificed himself on the cross for us, right? So we are all heavily flawed individuals. Here's the thing. We all got some shit with us. We've all made mistakes.
True.
Right. Mistakes that we were unaware of. Mistakes that we made based on how things were going today. My mama's sick. I'm stressed out. The kids, I don't know how I'm gonna pay these bills, all of these things. And there's always something that we will do that may be a mistake. You know, when my lady was pregnant, she left the crib. She had 2 different shoes on. Right? She had 2 different shoes on leaving the house. Errors. My question is this. Depending on the job that we do, some of the errors that we make may become bigger, may have a bigger impact than some of the others. But we're subject to mistakes. So my question to you is this. If that person was working at the cash register at your local supermarket, your local grocery store, and you were supposed to receive $3.27 in change, but that person made a mistake and gave you $11.86 in change, would you be fighting for that person to lose their job?
Nope.
No.
Now watch this.
Mm-hmm.
There's the school bus drivers, there's the school bus attendants, the ones that ride with them. The ones that ride with them actually get less. They get close to the minimum wage, right?
Yes.
So in terms of what Vic is stating, they get almost the same price as the person that's cashing, doing your shit in the.
But not every school have a
every
school have a bus attendant.
That's not what I'm saying. Regardless, Andrea, regardless, what we talking about is the fact that there is an opportunity with us humans to make mistakes. I'm not telling you because listen, I already said the kind of parent that I am, but I'm also willing to speak to the lack of awareness or lack of care that I would have in terms of understanding at that time that people make mistakes, including myself. So what I'm stating is that even though I would be the one that would be burning the town down, I'm also stating right now that, damn it, I would not give as much grace as sometimes we should give because I've made mistakes. The only difference is my mistakes did not include or involve someone else's child.
Well, to me, when it involves someone else's child, it's a different level.
But if I could just jump in, shout out and respect due to Chef Shapino,
Peace, Darren.
Mr. Freeze, and of course the ubiquitous Andrea Lynch. We live in a cancel culture, and I'll take a bullet for my daughter. She's 17, and if someone did that to my daughter, I would probably go the way of the chef. But I also would try to have some type of, because it's funny that Ms. Lynch was quick to counsel the person. You'll notice a few moments ago she said the person should be immediately fired. No one never looked into the person's record yet, and still we are human. We're flawed. We make mistakes, and depending on the severity, I would give that person perhaps a slap on the wrist. Now, if the child is injured, it's levels to it. If the child was brought back safely, you get that person a slap on the wrist. Anything aside from that, a scratch, perhaps, yeah, you want to suspend them or fire them or whatever, right? But I would check the person's record. If they are someone that can be trusted, but they have a impeccable record up to that point, and they made this egregious error, I can see where some leeway could be given. But we so quick to want to cancel people for every little discretion. But, I have to pick on Miss Lynch right quick. She's quick to say, give grace and mercy. All right. But I want to quickly pivot back to the whole thing. Just less than 2 minutes of your time, Chef Shapino. I think that we are in a culture today in America where we've given our children so much, but we haven't given them the tools to survive. And we wonder why we have 20 and 30-year-old children still at home with their parents up in the mama's basement or in the daddy's upstairs. And we looking at them like, why are you here? You in the way eating on my cereal and you 30. Well, you chalk that up to the fact that you didn't raise them right. And it is a dangerous, cruel, and unforgiving world out here. Ain't no doubt about it. But the question is, what is the child going to do should you get T-boned in the car? When you close your eyes, how is your child going to navigate? It would be refreshing if you can lay down at night and say, look, I gave my child my all, and they're going to have to take it on like I took it on. But we've become so scared with everything in our society. Everything, keep us safe, stay safe. That's all you hear now. And we have lost our rugged individualism. And again, like I said, we wonder why the children that are coming up under us are so sorry. Mr. Freeze has said something about the generation. I'm sorry, To Be Loved had said something about the generations. That we get wiser and weaker at the same time. Generation X really dropped the ball with these kids, because if I had my first child would have been 30 years old. I got a girl pregnant in 1987. My child would have been in his 30s. Right. But our generation raised this generation, and we have done a piss poor job at that. And we wonder why these kids can't do anything. Well, I have so many parents here that I talk to. They drive their children to school. They don't have any sense of direction of their own city. Heaven forbid they get lost. And you're talking about the anxiety of leaving a child with somebody. Imagine when you got to leave them by themselves and they can't fend for themselves because you failed them. And that's one of the first things I didn't want to do when I found out that Shirley was pregnant with Damaris. I said, I'd be damned if that's so. So from the time she was able to walk, she was going on the train with me. I was showing her homeless people downtown so she can see all this stuff. Why? Because they are going to inherit what we have left. All the ashes, everything that we done burned down, your children are going to inherit this. They're going to have to learn how to navigate. But we have failed them in that regard. So that's pretty much all I want to say with that. But regards to all of these things that we go on with the schools and the recklessness of some of these people, Mr. Freeze is dead on. The fact is that unless you're going to do background checks and vet everybody all the time, and you're going to hold that standard of vetting, you could call the dogs. You're going to always have stuff like that. So
Always.
it's just an unfortunate thing. But that's where you, once again, that's where you have to show your children what is situational awareness. Because I tell Damaris about school shootings all the time. From the time she was in the first grade, I told her about Columbine and the stuff that you need to understand should they want to, quote, lock these schools down and stuff. The last thing you want is to have your child looking like running around like a chicken with their head cut off. But we have so coddled these children, we wonder why we are so scared. So it's a hell of our own making. We want to give them everything, and then we scared when they go out here by themselves. That dog don't hunt. So we just screwed the children, and it don't look good for the children that they have, because they don't know nothing. So like I said, I didn't want to be long-winded, Chef. I want to thank you for having me up. I'll drop back down, but that's just my whole take on parenting. It's a labor of love. It's your job to train these children. I'm not a Christian, but I believe in that 23rd proverb: train up a child in the way they should go. And that way you ain't got to worry about nothing. And if something does happen, unfortunately, because here in Philadelphia, really quick, and then I'll drop down, on average, 8 to 12 children in Philadelphia come up missing. My daughter is right now out at her junior prom. I'm not with her. I'm talking to y'all. You feel me? So, but I think I've given her all the tools she needs. But should something happen, I can come live and tell you, look, I gave my daughter everything. I gave her the best of me. So I feel quite confident when she out here, even at 10:49 Eastern Standard Time. So I want to thank you for having me on, Chef, and you take care of yourself, all right?
Hey, before you go, Derek,
wait. Before he goes too, I want to clap at this dude, man. He made sure he been showing us his avatars before, but now he came and show us this one. So he want to make us ugly niggas know he been pretty since he was a baby. Y'all pretty
pause.
Man.
Well, that was me at yes, that's me at 6-month-old with my grandma.
All right. Great
yes, sir.
Pick, family. Great pick, man.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for jumping up. Vic, Vic, let him know what's up.
Yo, Derek.
My homie
yes, sir.
jumping up too.
So I agree with the bulk of what you said, but
thank you.
I think there's a degree of nuance to just like ass whoopings kind of got out of control in my generation, and the pendulum swung back the other way where there's no correction and no discipline, which is just as worse. I think that we have to find a happy medium, or the sweet spot, as they would call it. And when you're talking about exposing your children to the world so that it's not the first time they've seen it in their adulthood, and they're just stuck out of here, like you say, with it, like a chicken with their head cut off. I think in the old days, people had a lot of children for this reason or for that. A lot more than they have now. Now people are having less children. They may have one, they may have two. If you have 3 children, you're probably well off. So at the end of the day, what we're talking about is the less you have something, the more value you see in it. So a lot of people are even more protective to a large extent than even the previous generations were of us. And I don't think with the world and the technology and the amount of people that are in these major cities and the level of crime and all of the things that weren't as prevalent in those days, you have to be mindful of those things. If you got one child, you're gonna let them just run out in the city and figure it out? You're just gonna let them go out on the block with the rest of the kids and have a good day and come back before the street lights come on? Or are you gonna still have those? Can you take that loss if you only got the one?
Well,
are you willing to risk it? That's what I'm asking.
Well, I can answer that for you in less than 90 seconds. From the time my daughter was in a stroller, she's always been out with me in the streets. And the thing is that if you guide their hand, Chef Shapino just talked about Lenore Skenazy up in New York, and how she had her son come home on the New York public transit at 9 years old, right? But the whole time before that day, She actually went out with him, and that's exactly what I've done with my daughter. And you're quite right. It is very nuanced, and it is a dangerous world. Actually, me and her mother often got into it early on because I would just say out loud, I wish my daughter was born in Greenville and not Philadelphia. They call this Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So I know exactly what you mean. But once again, Mr. Freeze, I drive, right? Say, for instance, I get in a head-on collision and I'm no longer here. What does she do? What if her mama slip and hit her head in the shower and die? What does she do? How is she going to be able to navigate? So so either way you look at it, it's a toss-up. But you want to try while you're able to give the children what they need, and you need to show them stuff while they're young. Because the fact of the matter is, as they move on up in age, they are going to rebel against you and break away and want to go out and see stuff just like you and I did. It came a day,
Yeah,
Mr.
but
Freeze.
can y'all
It
hear
came a
me?
day, Mr. Yes, you can. It came a day, Mr. Freeze, when you went to the store by yourself. And
Well,
that's it, and so it is when they become adults. But if they aren't shown as they move along, I can see why folks are anxious.
but here's the thing, right? We're born in a different era. We're born in an era where we were able to go outside and
Hold on,
be
let me
outside.
intro you, Donna. Let me
All
intro
right.
you. I
All
gotta,
right.
yeah, I'm called. She says D Andrews, but that literally is one of literally my female soldiers from back in the day, and she's a real one. Literally,
Thank you.
we've been through wars together.
No, no
She's
doubt, no doubt.
she's a soldier, you know what I mean? And she also exudes feminine energy when she's ready. But in the meantime, though, peace. That's Donna. That's one of my homegirls from the block. The block.
Miss Donna, salute.
So let
All
them know to
right.
get in, P.
So now, here's the thing, right? We were born in the era where we were able to go outside and, we be and the street lights come on, we could take our ass back inside the house. We can't do that now with the kids because number one, there's a different world. Number two, we got more crazies out here than than before, like in the 70s and 80s. I wouldn't even have my son be in the front porch, and I'm right there, and he was like 7, 8 years old. It's a different world, So you can show them all you can show them. The thing is that it's a whole different world than when we was growing up. So I understand we do kind of coddle them a little bit more, but it's only because it's a different world. We have the social media and the internet. That's you could do all the parenting controlling thing, whatever that you can. They're gonna find a way to get on that internet, and then somebody could, get them to come meet them instead of going to go to school, and it could be the person in the school who's trying to lure them to go do some crazy shit. You know what I mean? So it's a different world. I understand you trying to say that you taught her from young to do this and this and this and that, but it's a whole different world. It's a whole
Ma'am,
different
I
world,
would
and we
well
got it.
I would agree with that. And I
Mhm.
really can't I really cannot go against your line of reasoning. Only thing I can say in response to that is that the fact is that what do they do once they get grown, and we haven't shown them anything. That's really all I can say in response to that, because the fact is that just like yourself, you broke away from your parents. I'm quite sure your parents broke away from their parents, and let your parents tell it was a different world at that time. So I don't know what the parenting does not come with a handbook. And like I said a moment ago, you may not have heard, my daughter is on prom right now while I'm on live with you all. I'm not in her presence. I don't know what she's doing. The only thing I can do is give her the tools she needs. But say, for instance, she's 17. What does she do? We looking head to the future. Let's jump up a decade. What does she do at 27 and she hadn't been taught a damn thing?
Well, it's human trafficking out. California is one of the most human trafficking. It's human trafficking out here now. They take black girls. So this is the risk that my parents didn't have to worry about. So girls are out here human trafficking. Girls are
I
out
love
here.
what she said. I'm gonna speak on that, but go ahead, Mama.
Girls are out here human trafficking, and I worked for the children receiving home when pimps was coming over on going to the other side when taking the girls. So it's human trafficking. at hotels. That shit ain't no joke. And if you think it's not, it gonna happen to your daughter. Because if you think it's not real, I'm telling my daughter it's human trafficking. I make sure her friends know that. I make sure my other daughter know that. And my other daughter, that's why I was most scared, because when she ran away, I was like, I kept saying it was 72 hours. The officer said, stop watching 911. John Watts. All I can remember is if you don't find him in 72 hours, there's human trafficking. And he was like, Miss Lynch, it's not real like that. Okay. But 72 hours, I kept saying 72 hours.
But here's the thing. Now we talking about the sex trafficking. You know, us as parents. Well, I'm not gonna say me, but I'm gonna say parents. I be seeing these parents, these little girls, 7 years old, got on leggings. Okay, tight ass leggings, shirts that's off the shoulder, spaghetti straps. Why are we over sexualizing our daughters? Why they got nail polish on? Why you taking them to? Why they 7 years old at the nail polish salon? Why are we over sexualizing our daughters to make it even easier for these perverts to be looking at them like they sexy? Why they got on tight pants? Why a 7-year-old got on some tight skinny jeans? Why they got on
Pervert going
leggings?
to pervert, sweetheart.
Why they got on bloody shirts? Why they got
It
on
don't matter what
bikinis?
they
Why
wearing.
they got what
Pervert
the
going
fuck is
pervert.
that? A pervert going pervert, but why help it? Why help it? Why
Right.
over sexualize our black daughters? Why she got to be 7 years old with nail polish on? Why you can't wait till her to grow up? That's what
Well,
shit. You
well,
know
that
that
to
shit
me,
is
man,
crazy.
well, I agree with you there, man. But to me, I'm actually with you and Mr. Freeze both. The fact is, I don't have to tell you, Miss Andrews. It's just perverse anywhere you go. They can be as conservative as they want. You just got sick people out here. But on the same tokens, you got some trifling parents out here, that actually do over sexualize their children. As a father, I don't know why a mother would do that. I don't see too many fathers over sexualizing their sons. It's almost always the mothers putting that mess on the daughters. So I can't speak to that.
Facts,
Only thing I
facts.
know is that that's trifling. And so if your child does come up missing, you may wonder why, or stuff like that. But yes, anywhere between 8 and 12 children go missing here in Philadelphia on average every day, so I'm told. But once again, to your question earlier, I would like to know, what do we do in the interim, because again, they get grown and they do what they do. So if my daughter was 27, what do it's just a hell of a thing. It's just a hell of a thing. So um so for
Well, we
myself,
can start from home, like you said. We
yeah.
start from home. Stop that bullshit. So I don't understand why a 7-year-old got on no goddamn nail polish. I
Let's
don't
talk
understand
about
it.
it.
I don't
Woo!
understand why there's
Yo,
why I don't see why a 7-year-old got on leggings and there
hold
ain't
on.
no t-shirt covering
Yo,
that
D.
ass.
Yo, D, hold up. Yo, D,
Yeah.
hold on. Since y'all brought that up, let me tell you, that conversation right there, right? That conversation right there. There was something that I had seen. Somebody had a Facebook post and they posted it. And I did not believe it was real until I went to go take a look to see if this shit was real. All right. Think about this. Brother Derek talked about his princess's prom. So let me show you the prom pictures from someone else's princess. This shit fucked me up, All right. All the way. All the way. Guess what? Holy shit. They removed it. They removed it. All right. Real time.
What it look like? What it look like?
You talking about the
This
prom dress?
the yellow one, Vic. Hold on. Cause I literally seen the shit and I sent it to my old lady, like, yo, you ain't gonna believe this. Am I going crazy? Is this real? Is this right? Is this wrong? And I guess it's gone.
I think I seen what you seen, but
Yo,
address this, right? Would you allow your we talking about 7-year-old girls? Let's stay there.
Okay.
Would you allow your 7-year-old daughter to go out the house in her bra and panties?
No.
No.
Then why do people think it's okay to allow the same girl to walk out in a bathing suit that ain't nothing but bra and panties?
Well, I think I can.
Exactly.
I think I could answer that really quickly. The fact is that with a lot of mothers, for some reason, they want to try to make the girls older than what they are or look older than what they are, but they haven't given them no tool to deal with the stuff that they gonna see. I tell my daughter all the time, I say, Damaris, look, if you go your ass out here with the tight stuff on and all this makeup on, looking like bozo, and having all these extra long eyelashes and stuff like that, you're going to get a response. You're gonna get a response anyway, but you definitely gonna get the response gonna be in overdrive when you're dressing like that. You want to try to dress conservative. I'm not telling you to dress like no clown, but it's something to be said when you with all this tight stuff, you drawing unwanted attention to yourself. So they do that on one end, but then turn around and they don't have no tools to know how to deal with the cat calls and all this other stuff. You know, it's almost as if they want them to get this unwanted attention and say, "Oh, look, you can't have it both ways. You're either gonna be a parent or you're not." And I'm myself, I've said for the longest, I would never be a friend with my daughter. My job is to rail. I'm your dad. Period.
I don't think it's appropriate for a little girl to wear to be baby suits, but I'm not their
No,
mama.
ma'am.
I'm not their mama. So, and my daughter don't have to be baby suits. She has one piece because I don't think she need to be wearing two piece. But that's me. That's just me. I don't think
I
that
agree.
Exactly. I agree with that too.
I don't think
I
she need to
agree.
be wearing baby suit.
I don't wear two pieces.
When she's 16, I don't have a problem with it because she's 16. But right now, she wears my daughter wears one piece because I just don't think it's necessary to wear two pieces. But some parents think it's cute. That's not my daughter. And that's not something I'm. If it was my girlfriend and her daughter, I might have say something to her. But my girlfriend don't have one of my girlfriends. She don't have a problem with her daughter wearing two Davis suits, and the little girl was 10 years old.
Yeah.
So
That's it to each.
To each his own. I'm not their mama, so it ain't my choice to tell them what to do. But my daughter is my daughter. No, she went. She get another baby suit, and I told her we're gonna buy another one. But she only wears the one piece.
Okay, address this then.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these little girls that we talking about, it ain't their mothers is pushing this on them. They want to be like their mothers. They want a purse like their mother. They want a cell phone like their mother. They want their hair done like their mother. So on and so forth. And then they beg, and then piece by piece, mom concedes. Okay, you can have a cell phone now. Okay, you can put on your little fake nails and little polish now and play. All right, y'all go play dress up. Okay, yeah, you can wear my wig. Okay, you can, so on and so forth, until now they want more. They want, and anything you say no on, they're gonna go get it on their own. So is it because the mother is grown. Okay, that's a grown woman. She can make her own decisions. But at the same time, she is the representative and the teacher and the example for the child. So if you think it's inappropriate for the child, is that at some point is it if the mother was dressing conservative and covered up all the time and this and that, then you would say, okay, this is coming from somewhere else. But how can you blame a child for wanting to be like the person that they admire the most?
Well, Mr. Freeze, that sounds like
there's an adult and there's a female. I mean, there's an adult and there's a child. Okay,
yeah.
Because an adult, you're allowed to do certain things within reason, within within reason. Listen, if I want me to wear my pumper shirts, I'm wearing some pumper shirts. But I'm 50. I ain't supposed to wear no goddamn pumper shirts anyway. But I'm just saying, I should be allowed to wear it. You understand? Just because I'm wearing it don't mean my daughter's supposed to wear it. And I get it that she's gonna want to try to look like me. But then guess what? You can't look like me. Because you're not my age. You ain't my size. When you get my age and size, you pay your own bills. Then you do what the hell you want to do. But as long as you in my house, you ain't wearing no goddamn pumper shirts, and you're not wearing mine. Period.
Do as I say, not as I do, right? That's what they told us, right? You still gonna do whatever.
Me, I pay my daughter's I pay her toes, or I pay her putting on polish on it. Now she ain't putting red on it, but she said she wants some purple. I'm putting some purple on it. I don't think it's a big deal because we paint the nails.
Well, but I think what Mr. Freeze is saying.
At what age is this? You talking about this painting nails?
It's levels to it. It's levels to it. I think that stuff should come at an appropriate age. Now, what
Exactly.
may
That's
be
what
an
I'm saying.
appropriate age is to each one of you all. It and myself, it varies. For me, I'm looking at it the same way Miss D said. If you're 7 years old, my daughter couldn't do nothing like that. But perhaps Miss Lynch, you may not have an issue with it. It's a to each his own type thing. But we're talking about once the child steps out of the home, because the streets not gonna give them any mercy, and they're going to look at them. And if they have stuff on this that's extra tight and stuff like that, they're going to get that type of attention. They're gonna get it anyway, but they definitely gonna get it when they got the tight stuff on. So we trying to prevent that, So that's pretty much it. But I again, Chef, I'm gonna drop back down. To be loved, salute Team Gemini, Vic, Mr. Freeze, Miss Andrews, Miss Lynch. Y'all take care and have a good night. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this moment to do the same thing. I'm gonna step down, Chef.
You
You
have a
know what
nice
time it
night.
is. Back to the grind. Much love to all my ladies on the panel. I appreciate you for coming up, Miss Andrews.
Thank
To
you.
be loved. I don't get time to kick it with you tonight, but for sure next time. Chef, my brother, you
For
know what
sure.
it is. If you need me to
No
holler back,
doubt.
you know how to
My
get me.
dude.
Peace, Derek.
All right.
Holla.
All right. So I'll take care.
All right,
You too.
y'all.
Thank you.
Peace, peace. To be loved. Erica, what it do? What's good?
Hey.
Uh-oh.
I-
It's an
yeah,
estrogen overload in this bitch right now. By
oh.
myself. Talk to me. What's good? What's good, to be loved? How you feeling?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a great conversation. I mean, it's definitely a conversation that needs to be had like over and over and over again. Um, sometimes I think that parents and adults in this day and age be so having to focus on their grind and money and being able to do the things that we want to do for our children, that being present is sometimes being missed. Like, I mean, I remember my mom was a single mom, and not for the beginning of my childhood, but later in my childhood, for my younger sister, she was a single mom. And I never remember my mom going on a vacation. I remember asking my mom, would you please get a boyfriend? Because I needed her out my business. I was starting to be a teenager. She was always in my business. I remember when, I forget what the group was, little white boys who sang "I Want to Sex You Up," and she heard it going in my room on my little
Color me
boom
bad.
box,
Color me
and she
bad.
was like, "You want to
Color
sex
me
us
bad.
up?
Color me bad.
Color me bad." That's what it was.
Yeah,
That's
my mother
right.
was like, "What? Sex who up?"
And I didn't know what I was singing. I was just, the music was good to me, and I was feeling it. And then I was like, oh, but things like that set a tone for me to know where she stood on certain subjects. And I think that there's something to be said when y'all was saying about, girls dressing like their mothers and mothers listening to the same music as their daughters. And, it's such a fine line.
Popping coochie in the club like they daughters.
Right,
This
right. And it's cute.
wilding.
And I always be like this. It's funny when they 3. It's not funny when they 13. And all of a sudden you're trying to reel that back in. And now the little 3-year-old who was twerking and you was putting it on your Instagram like it was cute to the Megan Thee Stallion song, and you thought it was so cute. And then now they 13 running away from home and doing things that they shouldn't be doing.
We got to give a little bit of grace to the moms, though, and I'm going to say why. We always use that statement, they did the best they can. And sometimes that's the most and the best grace that we can give them, is they did the best that they can. Because I'll give you a perfect example. There was some music that didn't influence me. From me, it influenced my mom. And it was the creepiest fucking moment ever. There was a particular song that was out, right? A reggae song. Don't say it, Donna. You probably know the story, right? Because she was the homie that could be in my crib when I wasn't there, right? It was a song I had been singing. It was a reggae song that was out, right? And I had been singing it for like a couple weeks. And then one day, my mom, hearing me singing the shit, not knowing what it meant because she's Haitian and she was not Jamaican, So one day I'm watching my mom's, and it's Sunday. Sunday is when she played the church music and singing her hymns and shit. And I see my mom's in the kitchen, and she's singing a reggae song she heard me singing the last 2 weeks. And it fucked me up. This is what she's washing the dishes. She's like, "Ma punani wa punani wa punani wa punani."
I remember that bit.
Punani, Jenny Punani.
Yo,
I said,
Miss Douglas is
no,
going
no.
in
Wait 1
shit.
second. Why my
Right.
own
She said,
granddaughter just started
she said,
singing?
"What, guy? What's wrong with you?" I said, "No, don't sing that song no more." What? It's good to no. She said, "Why is it?" And I told her, I was like, "This." She's Haitian, so there's a different term. I was like, "Well, she was singing about. They're singing about bubun. Bubun is that's the Haitian terminology for vagina, right?" No, they're singing about bubun. I'm hearing my mom washing dishes, telling me, "Wapunani, wapunani." So I say all of that shit to say, sometimes our parents be doing the best they can, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes
That's
they
true.
don't understand, and they may not understand some of the influences that have been allowed into the dynamic. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we have to be vigilant. But let me do this thing here, because we're about to wrap this thing up, right?
All right.
So what I want to do is kind of bring up what I call the overarching point or the rabbit hole of the conversation.
All right.
Here's the way that I feel. We don't always do it right. We don't always do things as effectively as we may have wanted to. But the thing is, as long as we recognize and understand the importance of doing some fucking thing, we'll be in a better place than we were before. So I want y'all to take a look at this thing here. You know, your boy, I'm the nerd of the crew. I'm the hip hop nerd. Donna know how I was back in the day. I'm always going to bring you, it's going to be a lesson in my long-winded ass, right? So let's take a look.
Essaie de les
I
superposer,
can't hear nothing.
les récupère quand ils...
Oh, for the record, you're not going to hear something immediately. He's going to start speaking after. So I want to make sure, if those of you who may be driving, this is a pullover moment. You know what I mean? But definitely look at the screen as well, because this one is important.
Essaie de les superposer, les récupère quand ils tombent. Elle aussi est tout absorbée par son jeu. Ces deux exemples nous ont montré le cas d'enfants dont les conditions familiales offrent toute sécurité. Par contre, lorsque ces conditions sont défavorables, au point de nécessiter un retrait et une hospitalisation, le comportement du nourrisson va s'en ressentir, ainsi qu'en témoigneront les séquences suivantes. Caroline, dont la mère s'est médiocrement souciée, est anorexique.
Caroline's a victim of maternal neglect.
Cet enfant porte bien la main à un cube, mais en fait
She
elle
picks
s'y
up the
intéresse
blocks, but
faiblement.
only shows fleeting interest in playing. Attention span
Très
is
souvent,
short.
elle jette un regard interrogateur autour d'elle.
She frequently looks at the experimenters.
Son exploration reste active,
She
mais elle
engages in
semble
some play,
surtout
but is
préoccupée par son
preoccupied by
entourage.
those around her.
Dans les cas qui vont suivre,
In the
le
next
souci
cases, we also
croissant de
see increased
l'environnement et
attention
l'inquiétude
paid by the
décuplée
child
auront pour
to the
corrélatif un
environment
amoindrissement de
and a
l'attention prêtée
correlating
au jeu.
decrease in attention to the game.
Par exemple, Véronique, également anorexique,
Veronique,
manifeste son
child,
refus
is
en
also
écartant ses
anorexic,
mains d'un
expresses
geste
refusal
d'évitement.
by raising her hands in an avoidance gesture.
Si finalement elle saisit un cube,
When she
les
picks up
regards
a block,
inquiets qu'elle jette autour d'elle témoignent de son
worried look she
anxiété.
casts suggests
Son attitude
anxiety.
est figée, elle ne joue pas.
So
That's so
First and
sad.
foremost, let me do this. I do have to apologize. In terms of me being a content creator and a YouTuber or whatever, I have to recognize when I understand something and the audience does. So my family, my parents were born in Haiti. I was born in the US. So my first languages were French and Creole. So when I selected that clip, it was based on my knowledge of the French language. You know, I speak French, je m'appelle Guy, right? So when I say all of that, I apologize if I chose a clip that may not have resonated with you because of the French speaking. But pretty much what you saw was the first child being a child that came from what would be considered the average or normal parental existence. And then the subsequent children were children that were victims of neglect or abuse. And you saw the way they moved. You saw the way before making a move, they looked around the room, they seek safety and all of these things, and they were not able to affect the same acuity with those blocks as the initial child. So I say all of that to say, pay attention to these kids. We used a lot of examples today. Even if them kids did not pass through your birth canal, even for the men, even if those kids were not the progeny or seed of your magical droplets, those kids are part of the people that run this thing. When our old asses is in a wheelchair and can't do shit, those are the people that will create blessing or a high degree of toxicity for the children that we leave on this planet. So you gonna feel that shit one way or another. The question is what you gonna do about it. Fuck it, you can't take care of yours and you screwed that up. If you see any other children there, you better do something and pay back into the ecosystem. You get what I'm saying? You had no choice. We have no choice. And all they have is us. So the overarching conversation is, watch this. My mama won't like this one, but the overarching conversation is, fuck you. Help them. Fuck you. Help them. All right. Rude, but I think you guys got the point. So the person that's been on this piece, you know, less than us, I'm going to allow her to say her piece and let the world know what makes her a unique soul within this universe. Erica, aka Young Meow Meow.
Hey.
Hey.
This why I didn't mic up. This is what I was doing. But this is what makes me a unique being in this universe, is that this is what I choose. I choose this every day. I took a job working for the IRS. I did all the training. I worked there for over a year. And then when my sons started having children, I had a conversation with my husband because we knew childcare was coming next. And we made a conscious decision together that I was going to leave my job to come back home and be able to be with these girls. So yeah, I do think, and I've always thought, Andrea, I tell you, I've always thought that this is a community-based thing, and sometimes because of advances in technology and, kids have video games and social media and things like that, we don't get outside as much as we used to. And so I think that contributes to what you guys were saying earlier about people not being in people's business and kind of like feeling uncomfortable about saying something. Look, hi! Look, she got unicorn jammies on. But about people not being able to feel like they can speak on other people's children because we don't know each other like we used to back then. You know, it's like when I was saying even on another one that you guys had about the neighborhood that I chose to live in. It was because I can go live in a nice, what seems more uppity suburban neighborhood, and I have plenty of family members, and I've lived there before we bought this house, right? Had a homeowners association, everybody's lawn was nice, no loud parties late at night. I never knew my neighbors though. And every time something was an issue, it was mailed to me in the mail, and nobody could never talk to me to my face. I didn't know anybody. I didn't trust it. And so now I live in a neighborhood that I trust. I surround myself with people that I trust. So I keep my village as tight as possible. Andrea tell you, even with her children, we was a village. When we talked with Miss Polly, we talked about her and her kids going on vacation with us and doing things. But we did that because I knew that, just like Chef said, our kids are all in community with each other. And I don't know one day how your child is going to either impact myself and my family, or my children, or my children's children. So it is my responsibility, as much as sometimes I might like to think that it's not. It is my responsibility a little bit to that degree, because we are all here in community with one another, and we all have a responsibility to one another to bring our best representation of ourselves to the table.
You said it right there. Let me just say this to you. This is what's crazy, right? We are responsible for bringing the best representation of ourselves, to them, right? And a lot of times I believe that we have to be careful in terms of what we show them and the things we allow them to understand, right? So watch this. This is real funny. I didn't realize it until recently, right? So we had a conversation one day, she and I was like, whoa, who does daddy like to listen to?
Kevin Samuels.
Who?
Kevin Samuels.
What's the song that you hear on Kevin Samuels?
Money Work.
Wait, hold on. What does Kevin Samuels teach people?
How high value men respect high value women.
Super articulate.
Yes,
Pay attention to everything.
I ain't teaching her.
Pay attention to what you do and not what you say.
She said, she saw him. She said, high value men respect high value women, right? There was one day she came to me. She was like, Daddy, you watch that so much, I'm going to call you Kevin Wamuels. I'm like, what? But yeah, this is wild. So, the best thing I can say is this. What they see, what we show is what they see. And what we show them and how it impacts them, depending on their temperaments or what have you, is going to have an impact on what they take to the outside. And impact is the kicker. Those of us that are powerful within the growth and the raising of our children, we are more responsible than those that lack the power to raise their kids the right way. Because guess what? It's our kids that will have the opportunity to positively impact the kids that lack parental guidance. Remember, your kids could pick up shit from their friends. Excuse me. I'm sorry. What did that was a bad word?
Word.
Sorry. I forgot. Those that pick up stuff from the other kids, you have to be vigilant enough to make your kid the one that says, no, don't do that. You're going to get in trouble. No, I get in trouble. It's going to be those. Those are going to be the ones that instill the fear. Those are going to be the ones that instill the shame. Those are going to be the ones that may be able to positively impact the other children whose parents don't take advantage of the opportunity to utilize their voice. Go watch TV, baby. Go ahead. Love you. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Those would be the ones that would have that impact. So you're pretty much your child They are the amplifier. They are the megaphone of what you teach in the crib and what you provide them. That's all I got. I'm gonna let y'all finish it off. Uh-oh. That's the ultimate mic drop. Don't nobody want to pick up after that?
Yes, we are. We are. I'm gonna be quiet. Yeah, we are the last. We should try to keep kids, keep the neighborhood, that community. But it's damn hard when you're trying to the community. Shit, it's damn hard. It's still hard raising children. You don't get no road book. The shit get hard. And you think you have an easier job when they turn 18. I think you got more harder job when they turn 18. It ain't easy.
True indeed.
It is hard, but I think too sometimes we got to be prevalent and vigilant for the angels that the universe sends in our wake to help us with our children. Sometimes those people who are coming are your village. Sometimes those people who say the things about your kids that you don't like to hear, or say the things about your parenting that you don't like to hear, are really the angels that are sweeping in there to help come save the situation and help keep us on a path that's prevalent for our community as a whole. You know, it's only, to me, a parent who is like, stay out my business is like self-thinking all the time. Even when y'all was talking about CPS and stuff, I had CPS called on me. I don't have a problem with a mandated reporter. I'm a mandated reporter myself. My son's first grade teacher called CPS. Even after the principal, who knew me, and the other staff at the school who knew me, because I had two children, and this is my second child through that entire elementary school. But the first grade teacher still decided to go beyond the principal on her own and call CPS.
Uh-oh. I want everybody to drop a little cash app for To Be Loved internet. It takes a village.
So he didn't lie to his teacher. When she asked him, take a village. But yeah, when he decided to tell his teacher, and he told the truth to his teacher about me spanking him, she went ahead and called CPS. They came to my door. I gave the lady a cup of coffee and a seat at my table. I was trying to do. And what happened? They told her the same exact story, and she left out my house to no avail. I don't have a problem with somebody calling into question my parenting, because I know what my mission is. Now, if you're not in alignment with my mission, then that's when we might have a problem. Because I'm trying to make sure I'm gonna be here regardless, whether my sons end up in a prison, or whether they end up in a grave, or whether they end up the president or CEO of a Fortune 500 company. I'm gonna be here. You probably not. So when you calling into question my parenting, think about ask me what my mission is and what I'm trying to do.
All right. So listen here, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
You guys heard it here first. We had some great guests in the spot. We had the team in the spot. You know what I mean? We had one of the sisters that's a part of the family in the spot, To Be Loved. We had the team in the spot. We had my homegirl who literally knows the kind of asshole your boy Chef really is before Chef even learned how to exhibit balance. She was the homegirl when I met girls. All of my girlfriends since 90 whatever knew her. You get what I'm
Since
saying?
94.
Right, yo. You get what I'm saying? Look, let me tell you, it was a beautiful night tonight. And I think the beauty of it is the fact that what were we talking about with all of the jokes and the cussing and this and that? We were talking about our children and what we believe is necessary. We could have been talking this manosphere, womanosphere stuff. We could have been talking this gender wars shit. Nah, man, we were talking about our kids, our sons, our daughters, but more so utilizing this platform as an opportunity for us to take accountability as parents. So I feel proud that everybody had an opportunity to come up, speak the good stuff, speak gently, and speak the vitriol and talk that shit. Because that's what it's all about here. So I want to thank To Be Love, aka Erica. Peace to Vic. Peace to Derek C. Williams. Peace to my sis, the first lady of this thing here, Andrea Lynch, aka I Got Questions, aka That's Some Bullshit. Her, all right.
I need a t-shirt with that, Chef. I need a t-shirt.
Hey, don't worry, yo. I tell you where to get them, and get me one too. Well, yo, real talk. Y'all know the way it is. When it's time to send y'all punk asses to the crib, we don't send y'all walking. We don't send y'all driving. Can somebody tell me how we send your asses home, please?
We vibing.
Vibing. Let's freaking go.
Club phone jump, it's the weekend. Julian come true with the big friends. Hitting down doors, that's a defense. Rolling with all, that's an offense. It me change, Judah me preaching. With a bull shaking to my maybe drop bands. Today on by and I say, today on by Judah keep playing. Baby, tell me what you want. Julian, I know you need fun. Ever since remember that we been knocking at the door. Y'all been moving paper, we be running up the school. Y'all before that pill that we was sleeping on the floor. West side Africa, you know the shit ain't far. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, baby. Come roll with me. All night long. As times relax, my mind's relax. I got now from who got next. Here's my number, just send a text. You got a man and she responds, nah. Okay, show enough. I'ma let you go, don't wanna hold you up. I'ma call your phone when I put it up. Whoever let you go must be them as far. Wait far. Girl, you so fine, I pay for. Fly you first class to the lake bar. Body so blessed, I pray for. Body so blessed, I pray for. Because I don't care what you say. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long. Why did I kill it? Night long. This the part where you get your girl, nigga. Make sure she focused, nigga. Make sure you focus, nigga. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, hit it. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say. We don't care. Vibing, driving all night long. I don't care what they say. That's a hit for your ass, nigga. Hit for your ass, nigga.
All night long. Shake your ass on Jay, goddammit. All night long. All night long. Yeah, great freaking show. Take your